Welcome to Keep It 100, keeping you updated on these niggas and bitches dumb shit on a daily basis. Thank you for joining us, and now your host, Marcus Aurelius.
Hey, it's Lizzo, and watch out for the big girls.
That's right, niggas. We have now officially gone from body positivity to celebrating obesity. Now, Lizzo, who, depending on the day and how she feels, can be seen blubbering on the internet about being the big girl, has been given a budget to put out a TV show where she has recruited several other black women to celebrate being overweight. So now, we are in a culture that celebrates disorders. Show me where the TV show is that celebrates bulimia, anorexia, anything of that nature. You won't find it, but we'll celebrate obesity, which is a health disorder. It's been declared a disease. And now, we're in a culture that if you lose weight, you are to be shamed, or if you encourage weight loss, you are now fat shaming. Get the fuck out of here. This might as well be diabetes positivity, high blood pressure positivity, heart disease positivity, and stroke positivity. And this is all in the name of protecting women's feelings, because there is no body positivity for men. Not at all. So stop the cap. You are not positive about your body. Niggas are not required to date you. Stop making shows trying to normalize your bullshit. Put the fork down. Join the gym. Lose weight. Live longer. And shut the fuck up.
Until next time, this was Keep It 100, keeping you updated on niggas and bitches dumb shit on a daily basis. 100.
Bitches ain't shit and they ain't saying nothing.
Yo, what's up? Get the fuck out of here. What's poppin', people? You know what I'm saying? We are in the building tonight. What's going on? What's poppin', man? It took me all day to do that shit, niggas. Y'all niggas is here on the early tip, man. I appreciate it. Man. A lot of shit to do tonight, but most importantly, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I got a lot of people to shout out tonight. But first, I'm going to shout out Brotherly Love 215. You are my first super chat. My man said, let's pay the MTA pass fare on the 6th line. That is some Bronx shit right there. That is some Bronx shit right there. You are a true New Yorker. What's poppin', people? What's poppin'? Now, let me tell y'all what I want to do tonight. This is going to be freestyle, right? Because I'm going to bring motherfuckers in here.
Okay? Tonight, y'all the show. We the show, right? I want to bring y'all in here. Whatever you got on your mind, whatever shit you want to talk, whatever shit you want to address. You know what I'm saying? If you got shit to talk about me, I mean, shit. You know, this YouTube streets, man. You know, even the motherfuckers that don't like your message watch your show. So for whoever got the smoke for me, whoever got the love, I'm gonna bring them on up in here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yo, I want to go through. First, what I want to do is I want to go through some of these screenshots I got, because I got some funny ass screenshots here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody who fucks with this channel. Everybody who has contributed to this channel. I'm gonna say some names. You know what I'm saying? All right, first of all, to my man Bit of Truth Show, who pretty much, you know what I'm saying, dragged me to YouTube, dragged me to this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, Bit of Truth Show. I'm sure he's in this motherfucker somewhere, or he will be. But I got to start with my man, the Bit of Truth Show. Hybrid says, where Taya TKO at? Hey, man, I kind of got to look. Look, Taya TKO. I got a funny relationship with Taya TKO, man. I can't go too hard on her, man, because you know, like she's somebody I know personally, man, and you know, I'm not always appreciative of her message, man, but like the character that she plays on the internet, in real life, she's a little different, right? But not really. All right. Shout out to Tahuti Ra. Congratulations. I appreciate that. See, I got to get used to this super chat shit. Jay Shabazz, congrats, brother. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. I was just, I think, on his live yesterday, right? Shout out to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. Shout out to BGS Idmore. And shout out to, you know, Dr. Ron. These are guys that have been promoting this profile, this channel, heavily. A lot of y'all are here because of them. Now I'm gonna shout out my contributors. Shout out to Shane Rabb, who will probably join us later. Shout out to Dominique Huff. Shout out to my mellow Megatron. I see you in there. I see you, bro. I'm gonna have your ass up in here too, man. We're gonna talk some heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you know, my man Adam Idmore, aka Great 19. All right. And shout out to Ian Graves. These are guys who, from the beginning of, you know, this 2.0, because when I started this channel, nobody was watching my shit, bro. Nobody was watching my shit, man, until these guys decided to, you know what I'm saying, co-sign me and push my shit out there. I've been rocking with Dr. T. Hassan for a while. You know what I'm saying? Before he started his channel, same thing. Oh, I almost forgot the G with PhD, Hakada, the Green Gorilla channel, man, who, when he started his shit, I was a regular on that motherfucker. For those of you who remember. Okay, shout out to my man, Green Gorilla. You know what I'm saying? The G with the PhD, man. I appreciate everybody for being up in here, man. Hey, we gonna run through some of these shits, man. About to have some fun, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, hold on. Let me pull this shit up. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Oh, no, that's the wrong shit. Well, let's start with that. White men offer more protection to their prostitutes than many black men offer to their best women. Well, not lately. Lately, shit, them motherfuckers worse than Pookie. As far as the murders, you know, that shit taking a spike. I mean, you know, but let the women tell it. We the ones lying to them, telling them they shouldn't fuck with these motherfuckers because, you know, we try to scare them out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But fuck out of here, man. You know, it is what it is. I don't know how many people Saw this shit right here. Said, Mama ain't make miracles every Thanksgiving. More than likely, it was one of these niggas. Tell me if that ain't facts or not. Either Uncle Sam or, you know, my man on the right, you know, you behind on your rent. He got you. You know what I'm saying? All right, black women dick policing black men in interracial relationships will never not piss me off because the majority of us will rather die to give black men what they're asking for. Like, y'all really got nerve. Shout out to the sis for saying that shit. All right. Marta, I see you. All right. What the fuck is this shit here, man? I remember telling somebody, I said, yo, you know, look, for all the criticism that this man gets, and I'm talking about from men, I expect it from women. I expect, people to go at Kevin Samuels, female people. But for all the smoke this man gets from other men, I mean, you got to admit that the women that call into this motherfucker, I mean, look at this shit here. Like, who is to take this serious? And she called him talking about, hey, you know, you be talking shit about black women. Why? I can't even do it, man. I can't even do it, man. All right, so Tariq posted this, man. I'm gonna ask the gentleman in the chat, man, who deserves the seat. I want to see who's who in this motherfucker. Who deserves the seat, man? Tell me who deserves to sit down, man. I need letters, man. Put them in the chat, man. Type the letter of the person you think deserves that seat. I'm waiting. Yeah. All day long is B. Absolutely. Nobody better say C out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. I had to put this up there because, you know, lately the Megan Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez thing is heating up, and it's becoming more and more apparent that Megan Thee Stallion is Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm starting to think these motherfuckers look alike, man. Rihanna, Drake, and Ciara and Tiana Taylor have all followed Meg Thee Stallion on IG. Rihanna drops her from Savage Fenty. Epic Games also drops her music from their playlist. The industry knows what's popping. They owe that man a huge apology, man. As fucking usual, right? All right, this is something I posted on my shit. The fact that you as a man feel like less of a man because you have no woman in your life says a lot about your misconception of what a man is. Manhood is not validated by the presence or absence of a female. Masculinity is much more than that. And I just wanted to put that up there for those who are confused about this shit. Okay? All right, so let's go through these posts. So let's follow this woman's story. Had dinner with a dude who didn't compliment me once. I thought that was really weird. I haven't spoken to him since. At no point was I expecting compliments. The absence of the acknowledgement of my effort just shows me that he might not be attracted to me, which is okay. And even if he is, I still prefer a more vocal partner. Hence, I didn't force him to compliment me. I simply cut him off. I am not dating anyone that I have to tell to compliment me. I am too self-assured to do that. Really. Affirming me and making me feel like I'm the only girl in the room is romance 101. That's what I'm accustomed to when I date, and I won't settle just because he ticks other boxes. What did I tell y'all? It's always a new box to tick. Also, I wasn't seeing him for the first time. He initiated everything. My man says, I take it you didn't go half on the bill. So she says, oh no, he was actually a perfect gentleman. He pulled my chair, opened doors, listened when I spoke, and even sent me a full tank before I left so I could fill up on my way home. Well, ain't that about a bitch? You see that shit? look at this here. He was a perfect gentleman, pulled my chair, opened doors, listened when I spoke, and even sent me a full tank before I left so I could fill up on my way home. She dropped this dude because he didn't give her a compliment. This is how these women end up in their 30s and single and hating niggas. This is it right here, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, even the guys that do all that shit that they want done go through the same shit. Okay? Now, when I say build your value, like I told you before, it ain't for them. Doesn't mean you won't dig them down. Dig them down here and there, but build your value for yourself and for those you end up fucking with. Business plan. Get an IUD, let them hit it raw. I want you to come at me, baby. Call them next day and ask for plan B. Stack that $54, find a new man. That's the business. That's the black lady business plan right here. So this is more connected to the shit that I just addressed in the news segment. Last week, people made fun of Nelly's dick size. This week, we're making fun of 50 Cent's weight gain. But when it comes to honest comments about Lizzo's body, that's unacceptable. Let me tell you something, bro. You are not required to overlook any shortcomings in women because they ain't overlooking none for you. They ain't looking up. Oh, Jay Shabazz, we're going to talk about that. Birth controls for men coming soon. I don't want to hear nobody talk shit about these birth controls. I want y'all to pop them shits like a motherfucker. Pop them shits like candy, nigga. Pez, nigga. Y'all better put them shits in a Pez dispenser. I know I'm getting my pill. Fuck the COVID fucking vaccine, nigga. I'm getting my Pez, nigga. Y'all niggas are not balanced enough for me. Either you're super square, responsible, intelligent, and provide, but boring, can't fuck, too judgmental, or hella hood, sexy, fun, protective, free spirit, can fuck, but can't take you nowhere, won't read or try new shit, toxic as fuck. Where are the balanced men? So only thug niggas can fuck. Understand that when it's time to list positive attributes, it's the Dusties. When it's time to list negative attributes, it's all y'all niggas. It's all y'all niggas. All y'all niggas ain't shit. Oh, we gonna address this shit tonight. Too many simps masquerading as red pill in this motherfucker. Let me tell you, I'm the new guy in these YouTube streets as far as creating content, but I've been watching this content since the inception of the manosphere, right? And shit done changed here, man. Shit done changed in this motherfucker, man. It ain't what it used to be. We're gonna address that later, definitely. All right. No race of men desires masculine women. I don't give a fuck who you talking about. Men will always seek the most feminine women available. Okay? All right. Oh, that's some other shit. So here's your dating profile. So Lauren, 33, mindfulness, self-love, no negativity. I just want a friendship. If something grows from that, cool. I don't do hookups or videos or pervs, right? If you're thinking long-term, I do want kids and I have no tubes. So your little swimmers will never meet eggs. So if IV process and prices aren't your cup of tea, then friends we shall be, or you could swipe left. Leave your anger issues at home. Honesty always. No hookups. Message twice. No hookups. Messages me your zodiac. Messages me your zodiac. That will get a good conversation started. Okay, right. And of course, she's in Cali. 5'6", office administrator. You know. office administrator. She says doesn't have. Of course, she doesn't have kids. So she has no tubes. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you talk about you got to spend money on a procedure for her to have children. If the IVF process and prices aren't your cup of tea, then friends we should be. What I'm trying to understand is, yo, why do black women communicate their struggles on these dating sites as opposed to their attributes? What makes me want to fuck with you? Imagine selling a car, is 15 years old, got ripped seats and all this other shit, and that's how you promote the shit. Well, if you don't like a 15-year-old car with 200,000 miles and fucked up seats, then don't fucking buy it. And swipe. That shit ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? And look at this one. It's Sheila. She's 44, right? Hey, look at her. What kind of CGI is that, Poppy? That's that, hey, that's that mummy Scorpion King CGI right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, her face is smooth as eggs. It's smooth as egg. Yo, her shit look like a cartoon, my nigga. Who does this to a dating profile photo? Oh my God. That shit looks like, that shit look like hentai, nigga. All right? How married men with multiple children paying all the bills with no financial contributions from their modern career wives view single men with no kids. That's how they view us. Nigga, you on the plantation. Who that nigga up on that nag? Who is that nigga up on that nag? You hate a free nigga, huh? She's available, y'all. Tiffany Haddish said, hey, she's open to an open relationship and would even date a fan. I had the article, but they pulled the link. But she said she would even date a fan. Yeah? 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 Yeah. Look, hey. She would even date a fan. So fans of Tiffany Haddish, stand up. You might compete. You know what I'm saying? So look, this morning my baby said, Ma, let me pump your gas. You'll never need a man long as you got me. I'm your man. I'm all you need. I love you, and I promise to be better than what was taught to me. Hear me when I say you won't need a man for nothing. Nothing. Hey, baby pumping. Man, please. Knock it the fuck off with this bullshit here. Son husbands. It's the rage. It's all the rage now, man. Get you a son husband. I know my worth. I don't date broke men, you broke motherfucker. You broke motherfucker. I don't date broke men. You the man. You supposed to have a house. You the man. You supposed to have a cardboard box. Asking me what I bring to the table. I got the pussy. The nuclear family isn't a family. It's a man with free child care, maid service, laundry, cook, psychologist, social coordinator, arm candy, private shopper, and familial obligation buffer. It was never meant to be a family. It was meant to give poor men what rich men have. Is that so? Now, mind you, once upon a time, women couldn't work. So they needed to do this shit so a motherfucker could go out, work, come home, and give her a life. Give her a living. Give her a lifestyle. Now they can get their own money. Mind you, everything that's on this list a motherfucker could do himself or get done. The fuck is free? Ain't shit free. All right, man. So let's get back to it, man. And so that's all I got. That's all I got. Yo, let's. Hey, I got super chats I got to read now. This is a motherfucking job now. Hey, man. Look. Shout out to D Scott. I see you. I appreciate that. All right. Yes, congrats. I appreciate your congratulations, man. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to shoot out the link because I want to talk to niggas tonight. All right, I'm going to shoot out the link, man, and whatever you want to do, okay? And I seen that comment about Uncle D. He's on his third roller coaster ride. That nigga ain't simping hard enough, fellas. He ain't simping hard enough. He's South Central. I'm from South Central. Buy Uncle D's album, y'all. He putting out that good music. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get his shit and Tariq shit, that Mink Slide shit. So yo, I put out that link, man. Brothers, get at me, man. We gonna chop it up. All right. Get at me. Well, yeah, let me run through these, man. He said, I don't do hookups, easy target. She mentioned it first. Yeah. That's what they put out there. They put out there first. You know what I'm saying? Huh. What is this? Carson, California gang banger edition abortion history. That's crazy. Oh shit. What's good?
What's going on?
They go to Dr. Neil laugh, y'all. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Man, congratulations, man. Congratulations. I didn't want to miss the block party, man. I'm so glad to see that you're shining, man. Man, this channel is about to blow up. It's about to go into the stratosphere, man. And I want to be a part of it, bro.
So just to let y'all know, me and Dr. Ron got something coming up. I ain't gonna say what it is yet, but he'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? We got some things coming up. Shout out to ST Images. Let me bring that on the screen. Congrats, bro. Nice crispy colored gray, son. I appreciate that. And to Mr. BGS Idmore, I appreciate you. You know, see, I'm expecting BGS to hand me, you know, my face at some point, but we'll get to that. But yeah, man. Hey, talk to me, my man. Talk to me. Shout out
Look
to
here, man. You've already said it, man. The provider mill is dead, man. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you 100%. You know what I mean? And these chicks think that they can shame us by talking about what they perceive as the deficits of the nuclear family, as though their alternatives are better. As though being a single mother, raising kids by herself and being dependent on the white state, being dependent on white corporate America, being dependent on other women represent a better option. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
And so, man, you know, I'm completely with you in terms of, man, laughing at all of their delusions, the inflated egos, the overvaluation of themselves, man. I mean, come on, man. You got a chick with a CGI, man. Come on. What the devil is that? You know what I'm saying? 42 years old, looking like 3/4 of Lizzo. You know what I mean?
That's some industrial light and magic right there, man. That's that Lucasfilm. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's that Steven Spielberg. That's that that's that Zack Snyder. You know what I'm saying? Man, bro. You know, again, I appreciate, you know, all y'all you know, support, man. I mean, PhDs, man. The PhDs and a few others is what got me here, man. You know, you can't can't nobody talk shit about y'all or me.
And let me just say, man, we appreciate you. We appreciate you, man. I mean, that's why we are all connected, man. You know what I'm saying? In the sphere, and you know, and we work together and everything, man. Because I mean, we're eclectic. You know what I mean? And and we draw on brothers who had the insight, man. You know what I mean? Regardless of where you are, you know, and I think that's what makes us very different from what the women do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because the women, they tend to be you know, separated in terms of their little classes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And but with us, with the men, you know, even though we have, you know, right now going on, you got these guys going at, you know, the war with each other and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, we got to count experience.
Yeah.
Because they all see us as trash. They all think that we ain't ish, regardless of where we are. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And and I'm echo what you've said, man. It don't matter where you are on the food chain. I mean,
No.
you could be at the top of the ladder. She's still gonna disrespect you.
She gonna twerk on your glass table, bro.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. And she has a greater incentive to do that, with you know, in light of the more that you have. You know what I mean? If you have more than her and more capital and stuff like that, you know, it just fuels her. It gasses her up more, even more, to twerk on the table and
Yeah.
act like you don't have any authority and act like you know, you're not a self-respecting person.
Yeah, because because we just want to be white men, want to be what they call it, want to be patriarchs, and want to be what they call colonizers, and we just conquered niggas.
That's it. That's it. That's
You
it.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it, man. And I really appreciate the anti simp regime.
Oh yeah,
And you know, I'm trying to. I mean, like yourself, man. I did a stream last night, man, trying to get brothers to let go of all that romantic stuff, man. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? This
yeah,
old romanticized ideal about, you know, black people, and you know, trying to revive some stuff from the 19, you know, before 1970. You
yeah,
know, and you know, and the fact that these women out here, man, you know, in as much as they protest patriarchy, you know what I mean? You know, I mean, the reality is that, you know, that they submit to the white patriarchy. You know what I
yes,
mean?
absolutely,
And they don't. It's not that they don't want patriarchy. They don't want black patriarchy. That's what they don't want.
yeah,
And they will gladly surrender to these white males and do what these white males want them to do. I mean, I just got to watching the stream on Ketanji Brown, the Supreme Court Justice. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's so interesting, man? She's been confirmed, and a lot of these feminists out there, they have been so silent. These white males, Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, you name it, Lindsey Graham. I mean, they just grilled this woman up and down for an entire week during the nomination process. And those feminists they were just so silent. They didn't say anything. You know what I mean? But you let a black male get up there and start asking some critical questions,
yeah,
man, we the monster, we the haters, we the patriarchs, and all that kind of stuff. So we know where we stand with them.
yeah, 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 absolutely. I mean, I done posted a few situations where you got white guys killing black women, and you have no pushback. There's no pushback for that. And if there is pushback, what you do see is them complaining to us like we should have did something about this.
Mm-hmm.
But they're mad that the news ain't reporting it equally. Like we control the news for some shit. Shout out to Blair Nash. Blair, I got your inbox. Thanks for the super chat, man. Broken Blade, super sticker. I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm gonna shoot this link out. Anything y'all want to ask me, anything y'all want to comment in this chat, because I'm gonna be paying attention to this chat. Just let me know, man. I want to address. If you got some comments from a previous video, we're gonna address everything tonight. Everything is gonna be addressed tonight. And Black Tie, I see you. Congratulations. I appreciate that. Congratulations. Preach Dr. Neil. She will challenge your authority. Yeah, man. Because black male authority is not appreciated here.
It is not. It is not appreciated, man. But I mean, I wanted to holler at you, man, to say, congratulations, man. and I'm happy to see that you had a thousand. It's the block party, man, and man, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep the that anti-simp energy going, cause
You already know.
man, we got and you, I mean, you know what it is, man. I mean, you got this manosphere. Let me just say this, man. Man, things have changed. Like you, man. I watched the things, progress, and I believe in free speech, and I believe that brothers can grow and evolve and do what they want to do, and they want to shift and all that kind of stuff, man. But the black manosphere, okay, as I have understood it, is tailored, to black male interest. You know what I'm saying? And I've been talking about black male independence and all that kind of stuff. We heard from these chicks. We know what they believe. We know what they think, and we have the luxury right now, man. And you showed all the posts. They they are showing their cards. They're not hiding. All the divestors, all the swirlers, all the black man haters, they put their stuff on TikTok and on Instagram and on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. It's just out in the open. And to be honest with you, man, I prefer it to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to know who my open enemy is.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And yeah. And we have to realize that, man, our spaces are for us, and they got to be. You have to have a line of demarcation, and the simping, man. Some of that simping, man, it's just crazy, man. Because the reality is that some of us, we really deep down inside, we want to have these traditional relationships, man. We want to, hook up with these women. We got that blue pill stuff in us, and we haven't quite detoxed from the blue pill.
Mhm.
And it's understandable, man, to a certain degree. You understand, but this is the black manosphere, not the woman sphere or the
Yeah,
other sphere.
or the man. I call it the mammosphere. I'm not opposed to women speaking, for the agenda. It's kind of like, in the civil rights aspect, it's like having white people speak for black people. You know what I'm saying? As long as the message is clear.
Yeah.
My question is, because, before this thing became popping and, at this point, to some extent profitable, you didn't see any women.
Mm-mm.
You didn't see any women.
Nope.
So it begs the question. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. And I mean, and it's a valid, it's a legitimate question, man. And it really feeds into what we know about masculinity, right? You know what I'm saying? When the women see the men doing well, when they see men prospering and growing, they find their way to where the men are. You know what I mean?
Space
And
invaders.
space.
Space invaders, man.
I call them colonizers, man. You know what I mean? They want to
Manifest destiny.
And some of us, surrender and acquiesce, and we've gone from being completely male focused to something else, man. You know what I mean? And again, dudes can do whatever they want to do with their platforms. This is the internet, man. This thing has infinite. I mean, there are no boundaries. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it says a lot. It says a lot when you got a Negro and he done brought, you bring women up there, or you brought a woman up there, and the dude is co-signing her talking points. You know what I'm saying? Particularly if the talking points are not necessarily beneficial to male interests.
Yeah, and that's the problem that I'm having. I had a conversation about what defines the manosphere, and I had somebody tell me that, pretty much, and I'm not going to say this person's name, but if you're a black man, then whatever point of view that you express is manosphere. And I said, no, that's not how that works. That is not how that works. Imagine going into NOI, Nation of Islam, place back in the 60s and tell them, well, we need to unify with these people, and that's the nature, and that's the you couldn't get away with that. You might get physically thrown out the building.
And I tell you, man, I had a back and forth, man. I was on the Lead Attorney stream about a week ago, and he did this thing on the Manosphere. And there was a dude who came up who didn't like my perspective because I was saying there need to be boundaries. And he kept pushing, I'm gonna tell you who his name, El Guapo. He kept pushing the idea that men need allies. Men need allies and allies help us. And I said, look here, man. I said, the LGBTQ people, they don't have the heterosexuals coming into their spaces telling them or dictating how they should move. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have, like with Jews, think about Jews, man. You don't have non-Jews rolling up on Jews or attempting to be allies to Jews, telling Jews how to move, how to think, and what to do, and all that kind of stuff.
Nah, that's only us. We do that.
We the only ones that do that, man.
Yeah.
We the only ones that do that, man. But like I said, man, I just wanted to come holler at you, man. I'm gonna get down, man. But again, congratulations on 1,000, brother. Keep on going, man. You got my support, brother. Peace out.
All right. All right, yo. Thanks a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Bay, jump back in here, man. If you're still there. But I just want to let people know, man, with all these changes, this switch around and that's going on in this manosphere shit, like anybody who knows me will tell you, I've been on this since very young. And ain't no switch here. Ain't no switch gonna happen here, man. What's going on, Playboy? You there, man? It's my man Mega. What's going on, brother?
Oh, I was having mic issues. What's good, bro? What's happening?
All right, yeah. Try to get as loud as you can, man. Before you go, let me one second. Let me acknowledge these super chats. I gotta acknowledge these chats. Hassani, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Next time, throw a comment up in there, man. And I don't know if you busy or not, but if you want to jump up in here, man, just ask for the link. I'll send it to you, man. And let me see who else hit me with it. Let me see. Ickles raised me. Oh, Ike's raised me. Your perspective is unique, brother Marcus. Keep pushing the channel. I appreciate that, man. Like I said before, man, ain't no simp in me at all. I'm not playing a character on the internet. I am not chasing no blue pill shit. And someone that will verify that is Mr. Bitter Truth Show. Because he knows me in real life. But before you jump in, babe, hey, what you was gonna say? What you was saying, Mega? What's going on? These are Ohio brothers.
You,
yeah, we can hear you.
I was just saying what's up. I ain't had nothing in particular to say. Hey, shout out to that Kung Lao hat you had on the other day, though.
Who's that?
Shout out to that Kung Lao birthday hat you had on the other day.
Oh, no doubt. Y'all was getting clown for that outfit and them pictures. Motherfuckers came for me, man. I just want to let niggas know, hey, I get pretty when I'm ready, man. The girls was loving it though, so I ain't mad. What's going on, babe? Talk to me, man.
Did I miss something?
Oh, nah, my little hat and black shirt and shit from the other day, man. The movie premiere, but.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. I saw that you was pointing at your name.
So
right.
I want to shout out. I want to shout out this man because I think Bay, you're probably the first channel I was ever featured on YouTube, and Bay has been harassing me for a number of years to get on here.
Come to YouTube, man. Get on Facebook. Come to YouTube.
Yeah, come to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I'm here. All right. Now they approved me as a partner. I don't know if they wanted to do that, but those who follow my community tab know that there's no holds barred, but I'm banned off Facebook at least once every 2 months and sometimes back to back. So I'm here and it's gonna be raw, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Well, being here ain't put it to you like this. Once they partner you, that means they're keeping tabs on you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that means they're watching you.
Yeah, they wanna
You're no
know the
longer
vibe.
just out in the, the microverse.
So, Bay, now I don't know if I would consider you manosphere. I know you're more like, I don't know what you
I
consider.
don't consider myself to be none of that. I
Yeah,
am a lone wolf.
yeah. I mean, sometimes you say things in relation to black relationships. You know what I'm saying? But some things. Me and you have been known to argue a lot over these. You know what I'm saying? But understand, like, me and this man will go at each other. Never think that it's beef. All right, it might be rough, but it's never beef. You know, I want you to speak on, I guess, some of the things that we've spoken. Add on my
Well, here's something that it threw me. I meant to talk about this
right.
because my past two videos I've been talking about this Deshaun Watson situation. So he had the press conference in Cleveland yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and one of the things he said was that how he's never put his hands on the woman, he's never disrespected a woman, and then he said something. He said that he was raised by a single mom and his two aunts because she had two sisters, so he respects women, and he said it with such reverence and praise that it was so cringe.
But this is prompted, or this was just random?
This was his speech to the media concerning the 22 Instagram models who are trying to shake him down at the behest of the Texans owner.
22. See, this is a story I'm not familiar with. In a minute, I'm gonna show. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's a smokescreen because the real big story is Brian Flores suing the NFL, for racism and discrimination.
Absolutely.
And here you have the Texans owner, which is not a secret that he's racist, trying to destroy Deshaun Watson's career and or reputation because he wanted out.
Okay, so in a minute, I'm gonna ask my man Adam MGTOW to speak on this because he laughed, so he must have more information about it than I do. But I want to read the last super chat. This channel is, what's that? To the moon this year. Oh, Rorschach. Oh shit, I remember Rorschach. Hey, what's going on, Rorschach? You know what I mean, me and Rorschach. I think you were on a couple other channels, man. Me and you had a little bit of interaction, but Redline says, congrats, homie. Congrats. I appreciate all the congrats, man. Yeah, man. Chime in with the comments, man. I'm going through comments, but Adam, Idmore.
Yeah, congratulations, man, on the 1,000 subscribers, man. That's, what I'm saying, this is a beautiful thing, man. It's only exponential from here, bro. It's a message that the people need to hear, man.
So let's talk about this Deshaun Watkins thing, man. I'm gonna add the Hassani to the chat, man.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. What's the name, Bay?
Deshaun Watson.
Rashawn Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. Hey man, look, hey man. You already know, Bay. I'm not NFL adjacent. So
I don't know excuse for getting the man's name wrong. Shit.
So look, Adam, talk to us.
Well, that's the thing. I was laughing mostly because the way that it was phrased, not so much because of the information on it. This is my first time hearing about it itself, but the way that is phrased, and we're in Women's History Month, right? So you hear that phrase a lot, to respect women, and people say that often. But then the first thing, when you ask them, well, was respect earned or is it given? The first thing that people say is that you got to earn it. So, but he's being put in a spot, right now. Just like you said, it's a very that's a very political move. And we see that with black men all the time. Whenever black men start making some type of power move, then all of a sudden they started getting attacked out of nowhere. I mean, Cosby is a classic example. He goes to buy NBC, and then all of a sudden, everybody out the
They kill
wazoo
his
comes
son.
right there. Exactly. So, I mean, 22 Instagram models. Are you?
22 Instagram models. What are they accusing them of?
Over a span of 5 years now. Really, the number was like 46, but 22 and now 23, which is why they had the second grand jury hearing, because the 23rd girl who wants to get in on the money train.
Okay, but what is the accusation? I'm trying to.
Well, they're saying that he sexually assaulted them while giving him a massage. Now, when the grand jury wanted to speak to these 22 women, when it was just 22, only 9 showed up. Because you have to remember, this all started off as a lawsuit.
Civil.
These are 23 individual lawsuits.
Yeah, these were civil. They started out civil.
Yeah.
Lawsuits.
So it drew the attention of the DA. This was a big story. So they like, hey, let's hear these 22 women's stories.
So now it's a criminal trial.
No, because of the 9 that showed up, they gave their story, and then they went to depose Deshaun Watson. His lawyer, of course, told him to plead the fifth, but I'm pretty sure the lawyer turned over all of the text messages and DMs and whatnot that he got in, his messages in between, with these girls, which I'm pretty sure looked like a lot like Chris Brown's. And it really didn't help that one of the girls was trying to blackmail him after she, in all honesty, sexually assaulted him.
In a minute, these types of things are going to lose all credibility.
Of course. But what's killing me is that the media is not talking about what these girls do for a living. Who are these girls? How do they make their living? Because we all know ever since they shut down Craigslist, they cleaned up Craigslist and then shut down Backpage. Where did these girls go?
But that's what they all are.
Instagram, Twitter. Huh?
Yeah.
They're all back.
Snapchat.
Yeah, that's what they went to, and Marcus just alluded to it. Very soon, all this stuff is going to lose its impact. We've seen, for example, what's Meg Thee Stallion and how her claims are basically falling apart. The whole idea of just believing women, without evidence, even though the media will still push for it, it's going to lose its impact because now the mainstream media doesn't necessarily it has the power to push out its propaganda, but because people can get their news by alternative means, and Black people in particular, based on based on a lot of research that's already out there. I think Pew Research has it. There's some surveys as well, not necessarily data, but it shows that Black folks, particularly Black men, get a lot of their news media online. So a lot of Black folks, particularly Black men, don't really watch mainstream media. A lot of people in general are not really, they don't get their news only from mainstream sources. They kind of compare the two. And so even if the media says, hey, we're only going to put out a certain narrative, we're only going to present certain facts, but people are still going to find out that information in other ways. And so the Tory Lanes of the world who have been maligned is going to push out his narrative. You had Chris Brown who fought back, against the woman who accused him. We have Cosby who defended himself, and he's been vindicated against his accusers. And so this is just going to go down as another case of why you shouldn't believe all women.
Where did the phrase originate anyway? Like, who originated that phrase? We need to get into the history of the origination of that phrase.
Women.
Look, it's the same. That phrase is a perversion of this, an also perverted phrase of respect all women. Right? That's what that is. Respect all women morphed into and evolved into believe all women. Right? But the thing is, you have to ask the question, like, why would you believe somebody?
Yeah,
right? Well, you believe somebody based on
evidence.
Yeah, you based on the evidence that they present. You based on a benefit of the doubt. That's how you would believe somebody. But when there's evidence to the contrary, you don't believe them anymore, right? They say believe all women in spite of the evidence, not because there's no evidence. So even when Cosby had presented evidence that he wasn't guilty, people were like, no, we're going to believe the women anyway. That's falling apart. Even the whole, respect all women thing is eventually going to be challenged as well, because in order to be respected, you have to be respected for something.
Yeah.
You can't just be respected for existing.
That's what they want. They want to be anything that they say to be believed, and they want respect, and they want to be worshipped. That's what this boils down to. Real quick, let me go through super chats. Congratulations on the film premiere and the 1,000 subs. Where can we view the film? So the director, the producer of the film, again, this just showed in the theater, so it's going to be some time before it's available on like streaming networks and things like that. I'll put the info out there when it is available. Shout out to BGS Idmore. This is our no simp zone, motherfucker. No bitch. All right, simps will be roasted by the campfire.
Shout outs to the anti-simp. They keep taking my man's pages down, but they'll keep coming back up. There's nothing you could do.
All right,
here we go.
In my Denzel face, you want to simp? This is a no simp zone, baby. Real shit. All right. I appreciate that super chat. BGS Idmore is in the building. All right, man. Bit of Truth Show, absolutely, brother. That was on purpose. Okay. Yeah, man. These chicks, they need a new outlet now, man. I mean, you figure with OnlyFans, the back page or back whatever would be obsolete. I mean, what's better than just being on OnlyFans, shaking your ass at home and not having to physically fuck with anybody? But now it's down to the app. You know what I mean? Because OnlyFans has pretty much put the average guy, in the FaceTime or video John category. You understand? Yeah, you video John now. You video trick. So now it ain't worth it to fuck with the regular dudes on the street because you making all this money video tricking. So now the only thing that tops that is to go after the celebs, the top tier dudes.
Try and trap them try and get a baby out of them.
Well, here's a question I want to ask: how many people have been Me Too? Like, how many of us average men? Because that's how I lost my job. I lost my job because I was Me Too. And
wow.
I was listening to Jap, and he was saying he lost his job because of the same thing. So I'm wondering how many other brothers out there who aren't scrubs, aren't grimy, and working a normal, respectable job, just had somebody throw a false claim on them and lost their job, or had the reputation dragged through the mud.
That happened to me, but this was way before all of this political jargon was even in effect.
Yeah, this
was like back when cell phones were starting to become popular.
I tried to call into my job. This was the 90s. I tried to call into my job. I forget to get the schedule or some shit like that. And there was a girl there. I worked at a music store. There was a girl there. She was holding up the phone lines, whatever personal conversation she was having, right? So she put me on hold. So I called back. I was on hold forever. I never got through. I called back. By the time I got back, got through to somebody, I'm telling them like, yo, she's holding up the phone line. What's going on? And when they got at her about it, she made a decision to lie and say that I was harassing her or sexually harassing her. This was a girl at work I never even spoke to. I didn't even speak to her. So that's their go-to, right? If they in a jam, if they getting jammed up, they go straight to that. I didn't get fired, but it was some shit. I went through some shit behind that, man.
Yeah. Yep, it's all a play. It's either a last minute play to not get, because normally, and that's the thing. That's the one thing people who work in EEO won't tell you. Although a lot of times that's the case. The one Hail Mary play they have when they're terrible employees is often to make the claim, right? And then of course, whenever you actually say, okay, what happens is, oh well, you know what, we're not going to go hard on her because she's, she's messed up. She's getting good. She's trying to learn the job. Right, but then they realize that she's just screw up, so then they try and get rid of her. But see, they didn't really put in the paperwork on her before, so now she puts in this claim. Now every time you try to put in the paperwork on her, it's retaliation against her making the claim, because that's what she's going to tell her attorneys. Oh, I was a good employee before I made this claim. Now, since I made the claim, they're retaliating against me. When in reality, you were always coming in late. You were always actually bad at your job, and nobody really liked you anyway. But that's the play. That's the Hail Mary, and you can't get rid of them at that point.
So
and
it's the female version of a mafia union, basically.
I mean, yeah, without the guns, and they get more money.
Shout out to Chaos Rain, man. Chaos Rain, if you're available, you could jump on in here for a second. The thing is, Me Too has been bad for women. It's been very bad for women. Mm-hmm. No. I talked to them. It's been very bad for women. Think about this, right? Now that you can't suck a dick to get to the top and you got to work, you got to actually succeed on the merits of your shit. And I ain't talking about like this football player. That's not Me Too. That's more like he did something to me while I was fucking with him. Me Too is, he trying to use his power. Like it's more like using your position to get the pussy because you're, a manager or, some sort of superior. That's what Me Too is, whether it's in the entertainment industry or in the corporate or whatever. That's what Me Too is. So now motherfuckers is like, play the distance, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Couch is over.
And that's dead. Now you got to actually have the talent, you got to have the credentials and all of that shit to get on. No more the easy, fuck to get on shit, because we ain't playing that game no more. Now, for the guys that still risking their shit on that, good luck, brothers. But
yeah,
a lot of these guys are not playing that shit no more. You come in, if your degree shit ain't right and your resume ain't correct or whatever, I'll fuck your titties in your ass. You ain't getting the job. Fuck out of here. So yeah. Go ahead, man. That Me Too shit fucked a lot of suck a dick to get ahead bitches way the fuck up.
I think the in alignment with that point, I think what's interesting about it is it also frustrates women because the men at their jobs or in those locations that actually do come onto them now are only guys who don't have nothing really to lose. So now all the guys that you basically, what women want to do is they thought that, okay, I get into these high powered jobs, I get myself into this position. Now I kind of filter out all the guys I don't want. Now I'm in proximity to the guys I do want. Well, thanks to Me Too, now you've just filtered out all the guys you do want, then you just open the floodgates for all the guys you don't want. Because if a guy got nothing to lose, it's like, well, shoot, why not? Might as well. She's right there. Ain't nobody else talking to her because those guys aren't around.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And now it's just like, well, dang, now I got all these guys I don't like talking to me, and you gonna put in a sexual harassment suit on those guys? I mean, you could. But now, if she does that, it kind of screws her over even more because now absolutely nobody wants to be near her. Even other women don't want to be near her because they could get hit with an EEO case as well. Women hit other women with EEO cases all the time. So it's not like men are the only ones who are getting it. So now, it makes her life miserable. And this is her. We're talking about women with careers, not just working at McDonald's or whatever. They'll just quit that. We're talking about women with careers where it's hard for you to just jump from job to job like that. You got to find another place across country that's going to pay you the same rate with the same benefits and the same network and connections that you're getting in New York or Atlanta or Texas. Those jobs don't just come along like that. So you're going to screw up everything like that? Like you said, Me Too, like it looks good on the outside initially, but that stock plummeted fast. It was a pump and dump, bro. It was a pump and dump.
These
Do
motherfuckers
y'all
don't.
not what? Do
Go ahead.
y'all not understand exactly what y'all just said?
Of course we do. So what do you? What did
What do you think?
This is
What do you
what I
think?
heard. This is what I heard. Me
Tell
Too
me.
fucked it up for the hoes in the office.
Mhm.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
Well,
I'm over here
I mean,
dying
it is.
laughing.
It also
Keep
messed
it 100.
But no, it also messed it up for some decent women. The job that I got Me Too'd at, I still am very close to the sister from there, right? And she's now maybe in her late 40s, and she's saying, you know, well, I don't care what Kevin Samuel said, you know, no man ever approached me in the last 10, 15 years. And I said to her, I was like, look what just happened to me, not flirting with any woman at work, not dating any woman at work. Somebody still hit me with a Me Too. And you expect some man to risk his life in your career at your job and come up to you? It's like, no. Women gotta be women. I guess women are now gonna have to start approaching us because we couldn't approach women at work. I'm terrified to work in the same office as a woman now.
So let me ask you this. So what did this woman that you're talking about that you're saying is the good woman, right? What did she do to counter Me Too out loud?
She did believe me when the whole thing happened.
Cool.
All right. She was like, you know, I wouldn't talk to you if I thought you were capable of what they accused you of.
And y'all had that conversation face to face, right?
We had this conversation face to face, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you again. What did this woman do to counter this movement out loud?
My dismissal was immediate. Like there was no write up. My dismissal was immediate. So I came to work one day, they called me in, they had a lawyer there. I didn't know what was going on. They asked me questions, told me I was accused of trying to do something very bad to somebody in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And I laughed because, you know, it's preposterous.
So understand what I'm getting at here.
You're
right?
asking, what did she do to help me?
So no, it's not the question.
Oh, okay.
Check this out.
All right.
You see the swimmer, right? That's the woman's swimmer that used to be the men's swimmer that is now first place because she's knocking all the women down and beating them out and got all these medals. Because right, that right. Now every time I see somebody post that, I'm like, oh my god, this is fucked up. What are we gonna do? Oh my god, and we need to do so. I don't give a fuck about that shit, and let me tell you why. Because they pushed for it, right? They pushed for it. I'm talking about women. Women champion. Bay, you were there from the beginning when we was on Facebook.
Oh, okay, I have to be 100% honest.
Hold on.
It was the vocal minority that pushed for this.
No, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that, Bay, because me and you have been part of this conversation a long time.
Yeah, because I'm like, go ahead, let them in.
They push
and watch what happens.
Whether it be sports or whether it be the past, all of that shit, right? Right. So when the backlash, hold up, this ain't what we meant. This ain't what we wanted, right? Right. We support you, but hey, now you infringing and encroaching, right? But we told you, right? So now we gonna sit back and chill. Now, mind you, Bay, you said the vocal minority. So the majority that didn't say shit, I don't give a fuck what they got to say either, because you didn't speak. You didn't speak against it. You wasn't vocal in the opposition. So what I'm asking Hassani, right? What I'm addressing Hassani with is for the women who are quote unquote good women, the ones that didn't lie on a motherfucker about some Me Too shit, because they are now suffering for their silence. I have zero sympathy for them. You understand what I'm saying? Have zero fucking say. I don't give a fuck how good you were. And you're like the good cop who didn't beat up the black man but stood by and watched.
First, they came for the Italians. Then they came for the Polish. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say shit until they came for me.
Sympathy. Yeah. I remember that. But zero sympathy, Asani, because if they weren't challenging the movement, and don't get it twisted, there's a lot of black women I come across that challenge this feminist shit, that challenge a lot of shit. I want that to be acknowledged. But at the same time, those women that were silent because they didn't want to break the line, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them.
You know, it's funny.
You understand what I'm saying? No sympathy. Share the bathroom with the woman. You said there's a woman, right? Share the bathroom, compete in your sports and all of that. Hey, they're women, right? So
gender's a construct, ain't it?
It's a construct. You know what I'm saying? They got the woman, you know, we championing this woman that's trying to get the Supreme Court justice seat right now. She's saying she can't define what a woman is. Let's talk about that.
Be like, well, why don't you, get naked and stand in front of the mirror?
Has she given birth to any children?
She has a daughter.
So
yeah, like shit.
Have any of us physically given birth to any children?
Well, I have to ask the question, besides that one, because that one is a biological question, that they don't want to answer that one. But another one is, well, if you don't know what a woman is, then why does the federal government have an agency that deals specifically with women? Why are there grants specifically for women? If you don't know what a woman is, then just give those grants to men. What is gender studies? If you don't know what women is, then there's no point to feminism or any of that. Seriously, we got all this money, program services just built around women, but this woman or as personage really just can't understand what a woman is. So why don't we just start giving all this stuff to men and just call it a day, or giving it to whoever?
You know why they have to answer it like that? Is because you have too many that are in power. You understand? You have too many that are in power, too many that are their friends, too many that are their baby daddies. They're too intermingled. So therefore it's almost like dealing with Hollywood as an actor. You can't speak out against another actor or against Hollywood or anything, like Terry Crews did. You'll be lucky to have a career.
So let me shout out Dr. Thunder. Congrats on the 1,000 subs. I appreciate you, Dr. Thunder. All right. Hybrid Ninja is talking about she was probably unapproachable. I think he's talking about the one we were talking about earlier. Said they brought it on themselves. Absolutely. All right. And not enough real women push back on the Transformer shit. And that's why I have no sympathy for them. Because these women are defending this shit and complaining. Do you know that the women on the swim team are complaining that this motherfucker don't cover his dick up?
I mean,
check out how they worded it though. It said they're complaining that she doesn't cover up her male genitalia
while walking around the locker room, just swinging free.
I mean, do they cover the?
Ain't I as a woman? You know what? Look, somebody asked the question on Sports Talk Radio. Do you really think that a man would switch his gender in order to be number one in women's sports? And I'm like, well, considering the psychology that goes into the whole thing and how sick people can be, yeah.
Y'all forget Tootsie? Tootsie? You got to be an old motherfucker for Tootsie, though.
Yeah, we old.
I remember Tootsie. Yeah. Dustin Hoffman played the role of a woman reporter because the job he wanted, they was looking for a female candidate.
You got me an old motherfucker for Tootsie, man. We blowing up.
Could Tyler Perry have gotten famous if he didn't play the role of a woman?
Bosom Buddies. Remember Bosom Buddies?
Oh, that was
right. Remember Three's Company? Hey, Asadi, my parents told me about Tootsie. I have no direct knowledge of Tootsie.
Oh no, Tootsie was a VHS we had in my house.
Yeah, Tootsie is good.
Oh,
It's Joanna Man, only
DVD
10
in my
times
house.
better.
It was DVD in my house. I you know, my parents informed me of this movie. I'm extremely young.
Oh yeah, Mark, I just sent you some stuff. If you go back around that subject at some point.
Yeah. Hey, look. Again, we addressing all shit tonight, man. Let me check it out, man.
No, I didn't want to distract from the what we were just talking about. I'm just saying if you ever if we double back around to the Deshaun Washington thing, like
we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that. First, I want Mr. Adrian Hicks, he had hit me early. He said, "Look at that damn light, and I see you still trying to be fresh, sir. LOL. Congrats on the 1K. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man, I got motherfuckers watching me. If my shit don't look a certain way, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Cause they know what it is, man. I got to do a production over here. I want to go into this thing about this court justice, this Supreme Court justice. I want you guys' opinions on this woman that I for somehow I feel like Biden just wanted to pick any random black woman to put her in the seat, man.
Well, you know,
because he made it known.
I think about when Clarence Thomas went through his hearing and he had the whole Anita Hill thing, you know, and I keep trying to. I was telling people concerning the whole Deshaun Watson situation is that do understand that your security detail, you're not their boss. They answer to a higher power, a different agency, and they report back everything that you do. They write it down, they document it, and then they send it back. So people have dirt on you. They have dirt on you, and they brought out Anita Hill and the whole sex tapes, and with the Long Dong Silver and all that stuff. And I mean, Eddie Griffin making jokes.
But see, this is the thing.
But he got nominated, but they drug him through the mud before they nominated him, and now they're trying to do the same thing to her. Now I don't know her politics or anything like that. I don't necessarily care. Because I've been busy. I got other things.
Well, I don't want you to care, but we're here discussing it right now. So this
right.
Right. So for some reason, like, when it comes to men and they trying to get, get at them and get at their past, it's the usual thread of motherfucker tried to get some pussy.
Right.
That's always,
it's just par for the course.
But listen to what I'm saying. Motherfucker tried to get some pussy for somebody that he wasn't supposed to try to get pussy from, right? Whether it be Clarence or Kavanaugh or whoever, motherfucker tried to get some pussy. There's always a get some pussy attempt, right? With this woman, now what's her name? Because I'm gonna pull up the article. Say her name for me. Somebody say her name for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm about to send you some article right now.
Okay, so from what I understand about her, one of her biggest things is that she was real soft on the pedos.
Oh, okay.
All right. She was real soft on the pedos every time that they had a pedo in front of her. And, they had the minimum, but then the prosecutor was asking for a shorter sentence, right, than the minimum. And then she went shorter than that. Consistent.
Is that a fact?
It's a fact. It's a fact. Case.
Okay.
So they pulled cases on her where she repeatedly, to the tune of 50%, sometimes even more, of a reduction of the time past what the prosecutor asked for under the minimum. Now, so aside from this, define a woman shit, that to me, this is worse. Right? So now we could play defend the black woman. We could play, they trying to come to whatever.
So she in the LGBT.
To me, that's worse than a motherfucker trying to get some pussy from a grown woman.
She in the pocket. She in their pocket. She's in their pocket.
So let me see what my man sent me. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what it is, man. And you know, but go ahead, man. I'm gonna try to pull this shit up, man.
She gotta go. She was the wrong candidate. She's the wrong candidate. She gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, something I find interesting about it is oh shoot, I just found an article I probably wasn't supposed to find. What's interesting is basically Biden putting her or nominating her is him fulfilling a campaign promise, right? Remember, Kamala Harris was the one who said, "I'm not going to do anything specifically for Black people." No, right? But one of the campaign promises that was unspoken that Biden basically was running on is that if you put me in, I'm going to put Black women on. And that's the one thing that he has consistently done, quote unquote, for Black people, right? Quote unquote. I'm saying that quote unquote because he's not for Black people. But the one thing he has consistently done is put Black female faces in high places. In Kamala Harris's whole administration, or whole crew, which basically just all fell apart, were largely composed of Black women of various degrees. You know, you have his VP, who's a Black woman. Now he's electing this. He's basically nominated her to take the position. And it was interesting because Black women basically represent the Black community. They're the only political voting bloc in the Black community that matters. You know, no one really cares about what Black men have to think. You're going to vote the way your women vote. And so this kind of shows this is putting her in this seat basically shows that this is a gyno-pedestal framework that we're dealing with, that Black women have the power because those are the ones who are being put up. And people could argue, well, you know, there were Black men who sat on there before. Yeah, but by and large, those Black men, you know, it was expressly known that they weren't going to be. First of all, none of them were blue. None of them were like were liberals in any sense of the word. So it was already known that if the judge is getting up there and there's a Black judge and he's a Republican, he's not going to do anything for Black folks, right? This woman is effectively, she's as blue as can be, right? So what does that mean? That she's the opinion is that she understands the politics of law, and she's the laws that she votes, that basically the way that her Supreme Courtship is going to be to advocate for, you know, these leftist policies. But what does that mean? That she's going to be advocating for Black women. Right. So you have Black male Supreme Justices who were there before, but they never advocated for Black men specifically. And they very rarely were able to do much for Black people as a whole. But watch, the reason why she's here is specifically because she's going to be doing things for Black women and for, you know, that leftist constituency. And so this just shows exactly what type of political monster Black men are facing in the years to come. And that was a promise he made in 2020. That's the only promise regarding Black folks that he actually kept. And I sent you the article. That's what he said in 2020. He was going to put a Black woman somewhere. And this is exactly what he did.
Yeah, but I addressed that. I mean, we knew that. But see, in Bay,
yeah,
I don't want to touch this topic just yet. But this is why the last thing we spoke about, I disagree with you with, because understand that the Democrats are beholden to Black women and women at large, right? So that thing that we spoke about with taking welfare away from women and things like that, understand that they're a larger voting.
I didn't say take it away, but go on.
Okay, that's what I remember. But at the end of the day, you know, taking, you know, well, you did, bro.
I said change the laws.
Understand
change the laws.
Understand. Well, welfare reform happened already. Right.
It's
so
still happening.
A lot of these women who have welfare work, and a lot of them are not getting welfare and they just at home, just chilling on a check. Just understand that there will never come a day where these women will be stripped and disadvantaged to the point where they have to now surrender to niggas. It's not going to happen. Right.
It had nothing to do with that.
Okay. But I just want you to understand that going against Black women or women at large through any government block,
it's not going against them.
I'm okay.
Nothing. I want you. Okay, look. I want you to understand. because
I want to
you
go.
didn't hold on. You
Yeah.
didn't hear not one iota of what I was trying to say about that. You just jumped into all of these assumptions.
So respond to
But my thing was
Mhm.
that it was actually going to uh give them a better opportunity to make more money, so therefore they won't need it anymore. Okay, there's a whole thing going on about that. I don't want to jump into the plan right now,
That wasn't
but
the
I know I understand. But
that wasn't our discussion. Our discussion was about bringing the family back together, not
right, but
back.
my thing is, in order to get them to unclench the teeth. All right, because do understand that a lot of one of the biggest reasons why you have a lot of single mothers out here is because they know that Big Daddy government will take care of them. They'll get benefits for that. So they're not necessarily worried. Just like you said, there are women who are working, but they still get benefits. Okay. Yeah. These
My
are
point,
these
go ahead.
are a lot of these women are those women.
So my
Okay.
point is
These are
no.
women that call up Kevin Samuel's show and lie about their income, but you know it's a lie. You hear the kids screaming in the background or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
So,
You already know what the situation is.
Bay, my point is, and let's continue with this justice thing. But my point is, and we will have a time to discuss that. But my point is, none of that is going to change because they want it this way. They have the numbers to keep it this way, and
They don't have the numbers to keep it that way.
So we will.
Well, one thing I think you might like to consider. I'm not sure if you should check out Dr. Tiosan Johnson's review of I think it's Dr. or Professor Errol Miller's his study on matriarchal societies in Jamaica, because what he basically concluded, or what Miller was able to conclude, and what that was I think around the same time or before Sedanius, is effectively he confirmed social dominance theory, that empowering women is a tool of the dominant male group, the oppressive group, the group that's dominant, that's in advantage. Basically, I wouldn't say the group that's in advantage, that's trying to maintain their advantage against the group that's in disadvantage. One of the tactics that they always tend to do, and this is not just in Jamaica, it's not just in America, but everywhere you have a group of males that are in advantage, to maintain their advantage over other males in the society, they empower the women that typically are associated with those males. And so when those women have an advantage, that's the tool. And that's one of the points that Marcus was making, which of course I haven't heard your entire plan, so I'm not saying your plan will or won't work. But what I'm saying is that's something that you if you haven't considered it already, you might want to consider that this is a deliberate tool that's used because it disrupts. Right? That's why they do it, because they know it disrupts and frustrates the plans of the men who are at disadvantage. And so those men who are at disadvantage can never gain the upper hand because they have the women basically constantly tripping them up.
I understand that. But my thing is
there's millions more women here though.
Based on historical evidence on both parts. All right. The Republican Party has worked very hard to reform welfare. Half of what I was speaking about in my plan, they've already executed it. Trump even tried to do something about it because he feels, and so does that party, they feel that the government spends way too much money in that area because there's too many people taking advantage of it. So the best way to curb the advantage takers, all right, is to initiate programs to permanently get them off of it. And that's what I was proposing, the permanent way to get them off of it. Those who, barring disability or whatever condition that will be desperately needed.
So let me ask you, what is? So hold on, because I want to address Bay.
Well, let me finish, because
But-
what'll happen is
Go
it'll
ahead.
reverberate back into society to where not only will you have a healthy tax bracket going on, all right, not only will you stimulate and boost the economy because families tend to spend more than single people. Vacations and all of that stuff, homes,
Hold on.
cars, furniture,
Bay,
kids stuff.
Bay.
I mean, I'm getting to a point here.
Oh, okay, please.
You can still have that false image of control with your major sector, but you're talking about your minor sector. All right. They'll still have a false image of control in the minor sector, but it won't be to the tune of what it is right now, which is absolute chaos.
Bay,
Go ahead.
what part of what you said will drive families? If because I'm with Hassan, me and Hassani talk about this shit all day. Culture's culture, right?
Well, let me answer it. I got the gist of your statement.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear, bro. We don't have to talk over each other. Let me be clear in the question I'm asking you, because you said, or you implied that this plan is about forcing families as opposed to single situations. Did anybody else hear that? Okay, so my question is, how does what you call, you said, well, I said welfare has been reformed already. You're saying a further reform because you're saying that the Republicans want this stuff gone, although a good number of them are on it. That's why we still have Obamacare, right? Because if a good number of them were not on Obamacare, Obamacare would be out of here. You said Trump tried to do it. Well, why didn't he do it? He had the House. He could have done it. Mind you, you're implying that if they do what you're saying, instead of, well, take away this and give them things that is not welfare, which to me is still welfare, you being given something, right? How does that encourage or incentivize family units?
All right. Well, to take it back to your Trump thing, I didn't say Trump tried to reform welfare. I said he tried to do something in the form of it because he was trying to sell off the government-owned housing. He was trying to sell that stuff off, but the companies gave the stuff back because the tenants were just too destructive. It was costing them more money to maintain it than what they were, than what profits
Understood.
predicted. So at any rate, so that was
they did get rid of some of it though. They did get rid of some of it.
Right. Yeah, they got rid of some
question. I want that question answered. I don't need a long dissertation.
Hold on. I wanted to clarify that point.
Okay.
The other point that you made, I said welfare reform. I said nothing about obliterating it. I said welfare reform. There's still some tweaks and tweaks that need to go with that because as I proposed this, never mind. I'll leave that alone because I was talking to a female. At any rate, what'll happen is if you go through the welfare program under the reform that I proposed, if you go out, here, you working, you can take care of yourself, you get yourself a nice apartment, you got a car, you got a job, boom, because you got trained, you went through training. All right, so you good. You go out here, you have a baby, shit get hard for you. Well, you need to make a decision, especially if you mess around here and have 2 babies, because you're not allowed to come back to get anything. Nothing.
Okay, so you are saying take it, bro.
I'm not saying take it away. I'm not saying take it away permanently. I'm just saying once you go through it, you're not allowed to come back.
One time. I get that.
Right. One time. One time.
I get it. It's so not, Bay, it's not gonna fucking happen, all right? It's not.
I understand that.
Sounds great.
But at the same time,
theory, it's not going to happen.
At the same time, Marcus, you do see them trying to make reforms to it. So my theory is that once, as you see all these chicks who got these babies talking about high value man, and old boy is like, well, why didn't you marry your baby daddy? You know, I mean, shit, you loved him enough to have a baby by him, but you didn't love him enough to marry him. Like,
how does this incentivize families?
Because once you go through that, if you go through the reform, and then now here you are, you stuck with a baby, and you realize your pockets is getting light as hell. More than likely, you'll probably, after watching a few of your friends go through that trial and error, because child support was also a part of that, where you only get 20%. You only get, that's maxed out. No matter his income, you maxed out at 20%.
Child support is a part of what?
It was also part of I had more reforms. I had child support reform, and I talked about divorce reform.
So you're saying that, right? Girl has a baby. She gets off welfare by way of what? She gets a job and this, that, and the other. Because all that sounds like strong black independent woman shit, right?
I get it.
All over again, right? No, hold on.
Yeah.
I want to say this to clarify. Because you said this was, they're going to be given this stuff. Because understand that women have other ways to live than welfare. But before we get there,
they do.
Before we get there, you're saying, okay, one shot deal. You were on the benefits. Now you get off it because we gave you some other way to find a way. And now your ass can't never sign up for benefits again. Am I right so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that you're off the benefits, you got the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting what? Child support from the dude because you're working. You already said that.
If you are getting child support, you're only getting 20% of his income.
Now, never mind that there are a bunch of bitches out here with jobs making money and they ain't part of any family unit, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the ones that, would need the government again, right? They the ones that's going to run the niggas to be families because Uncle Sam ain't giving them food stamps and what rent assistance or some shit like that, right? This is what's supposed to happen. This is the shit.
It will curb the behavior. It'll make people, after you go through maybe a generation of that or half a generation of that, it will curb the behavior. It will curb the practice. Maybe, I mean, not 100%, because a lot of them will find themselves having to go through the welfare system, okay, in order to support themselves. And as you said, so they getting benefits. Yeah, that's the cheese in the trap. That's the shiny object. That's the shiny keys. That's the laser pointer. You understand? That's the laser pointer.
Okay. So
can I make a comment here?
Hold on, before you jump in, because
there's more rules. I mean, there's rules to it, but go on.
Hold on, before you jump in, Chaos Ray, and I see you, man. I know you've been waiting, man.
Do you really want to just go into the plan, or do you want to just keep poking, trying to poke at it?
No, bro, we've heard you. Understand?
You didn't hear the whole thing, though.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter,
bro. You sound like Claude Anderson right now. He makes sense, but the reality is niggas ain't fucking with it, right?
That's the problem.
So the
that's
point
the problem.
Is,
why does common
bro, we're not gonna hold on. We're not gonna talk over each other tonight. We're not gonna do that. What I'm trying to tell you is I don't have a problem with some of the stuff you're saying. Some of the stuff is like the women are coming to the table shit is far-fetched to me. My problem and my entire point is it's like expecting the niggas to form some unified front. The reality is the government ain't gonna fuck with it. The women ain't gonna fuck with it. and they have to want to fuck with it. It ain't just about us and the Republicans. It's about them too. They're the larger voting bloc. The politicians are beholden to them. The politicians want to keep their seats, locally especially. So they don't give a fuck about the sense that you think you might be making.
Marcus,
They don't care about
I
that.
understand what you're saying, but I want you to understand that a lot of black men do not vote. A lot of this is why women, black women, this is why black women voters is the Democrats one of their biggest voting blocks.
Babe.
Hey, tell Ice Cube that, man.
I want to,
yeah, because Ice Cube knows.
He tried to bring that to this fucking degenerate Fox Soul bullshit platform, and women said, "What about the women?" And I said, "Well, isn't black women part of black people?" And I said, "No, we're separate. These no good chicks, these bitches, separate on that fucking platform to a fucking black man." Now, most black people say, "Well, that's them." No, because it's showing in reality today.
Yeah,
we can't dispute that.
Separate entities.
We can't dispute that. So, man, and I'll be honest with you, the last election, I know a good portion of black men did participate, and what the word on the street is, they voted the opposite side, which they were trying to shame some of the black men to say, if you vote for this no good bastard to stay in office, we're gonna do things to you. There's gonna be a punishment, and some of dudes probably folded just by the bigger heads, females that try to put a threat on them. Said, "Yo, listen, you better vote over the side, stay over the side, because there's some benefits." So they feel, bring this man, he's gonna bring order. He's going to bring us benefits. And nearly 1 year now since he's been in office, you see him roll back the edge of time, even to the point now, we don't know what's going on. To the point now, we have all forms of chaos. And I like how people put the chaos to the end of it, but I'm going to sit back.
So, Adam, I want you to see that.
You're Borgen.
One more time.
You're Borgen.
Who, me? I'm Borgen?
You. Yes, you are.
Oh shit!
There you are.
Oh yeah, you're back. Say that one more time, bro.
Adam Midmore, I want you to respond to what's being spoken on right now as far as this conversation.
Well, I think it's an interesting theory, right? That I mean, the interesting thing about it. Well, I mean, first of all, I'm not sure if Bay, you're familiar with Monahan's scissors, but effectively, I'm not sure that the way you described it, and again, I don't know the intricate details of the plan, so I'm just commenting on what I just heard. So, but I'm not sure that the plan would have the intended effect, especially since, while black men do make more money, the median salary, right? The median. Notice no one actually talks about the mean, but they talk about the median salary. The median salary of black men is higher than black women. Even the average, the mean salary is higher. But there are more black women in the labor force than black men, right? And so, when you see the distribution of salaries, I mean, there's a lot of black women who, there's a percentage of black women who are on welfare, but by and large, there's more black women who are working than black men. So even though black men don't really get welfare like that, taking black women off of welfare wouldn't have the same impact that you think would really happen. Really, what would happen? Wait, hold on. Let me. I'm just gonna. I do want to hear your response to this. I'm just gonna say this real quick. What I postulate would happen is you would see an increase in what's already happening. You have a lot of black women who, what I'll pose it to you this way, right? When black women get older and they don't have a man, and you got single black women who are in their 50s, they're getting older. What do they start doing? What do they start doing? Well, their mom moves in with them. Okay. Then their friend moves in with them. Then another friend moves in with them. And now you got all these spinsters living in the same apartment.
More like
splitting the rent.
Cat eaters, coochie eaters.
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that they become that, but that's a possibility.
Brother, we're not gonna play this nonsense.
Yeah, but you got some
whole much more moving into what they're gonna do. Chit chat. You see them clubs dancing and slapping their ass. So
You're missing the point, bro. The point, the fact of the matter. I mean, it's funny to hear it though. But the fact of the matter is, hold on, that what actually happened. It is hilarious, actually. But what happens is that they move into the same apartment, so that same apartment that they would be able to live on their own with welfare. Well, if they're not able to live with welfare, what are they going to do? They're going to start moving into the same apartments together. They're not going to form a family with the man because a man, they're still culturally trained to see men as utilities. And so what are they going to do? Well, the people I'm going to form a family with, the guy that protests on my network is all women. So they're not going to lean on a man and live by a man's rules and learn to live with the man. They're all going to live with each other and then grow to hate each other and then move into another home with women. I mean, you see it all the time. You see it all the time in women who are older when they're past their prime and they don't have high-powered careers making $90,000 a year. They just end up moving in with each other until the grave. So I really don't think, especially based on the labor participation rate of Black women, it's actually may begin to pass that of Black men. The labor participation rate of Black men is going down. It was like 80% at the turn of in 1965. We all know why. We don't got to explain it. They're 80% there. And Black women, their labor participation was about 30%, more or less, rough numbers. And as the years have gone on, now labor participation for Black women is nearing 60%, and for Black men, it's nearing it's getting closer to 50%, right? And the numbers don't have to add up to 100 because it's labor participation of the gender. So why are 50% of Black men not in the labor force? We need to find out why. Why is it that 60% of Black women are participating in the labor force? But you can't take away welfare when you and say that's going to fix the problem. Of course, you didn't say that was the only solution. I am saying you did not say that was the only solution. But I'm just making the case that, you know, I don't think that particular part of the plan is going to have as big of an impact, and which is why it's not really relevant whether welfare stays or not. That's not the problem. But what's your response? Because I know you know.
Well, the reason why, because every time a labor force, we got to understand, are they hiring women to do what jobs? Number one. And number two, besides the skill label, the skill these brothers got, are they being shut out the market? Because not everybody here is making their own way. Maybe they're hustling something, doing something either illegal or some monetary hustle. Nonetheless, some men are not documented because they either are able to get employment in this country or they're not. And we all know the factors that play into why they possibly. So that's why they're
Black men have been.
And not only that, let me say this: it's proven evident when they hire women, they could count that as that minority, so they're easy tax bracket. So
yeah, and here's the thing too. I mean, to your point, Black men have been doing the quote unquote side hustle has been a part of Black male culture for 200 years, right? When a skilled Black slave would go out. And you know, a lot of slave masters, when they'd have a skilled Black male, they'd send him to the marketplace and say, look, you know, I want you to bring home X amount. I want you to bring back X amount. Whatever you make past that, you can keep. And so Black men will go to the market and they would charge extra than for that service, whether they were a blacksmith or, you know, whatever skill they had. And that's how they would be. That's how Black men were able to buy their freedom, because they were able to use their skills. And after they gave the master whatever that profit was, they would be able to earn their freedom that way. And so the side hustle, having two jobs, has, you know, where you're on a plantation and then you're also working in the market, that's always been part of Black male, American male culture. I'm pretty sure in other parts of the world as well. You've always needed a side hustle because we were always in and out of work. So you always had to have another means of making money when the white man fired you from the job. You know, the first hired, last. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to Black women, there's just more of them in the labor force. Even if you look at it, you could say, well, Black women make less. There's the majority of them, over 1 million of them, 1.37 million, are in jobs that make less than $23,000 a year. And that's true. But when you get 4 of those women that live together, they're making $100K. I mean, that's just what they're going to do. They're not going, to Marcus's point, they're not trained to form families. This will not, I don't believe this will work, just based on the you know, Marcus, I know you want to say something. Let me stop monologuing. I'm sorry.
Continue. Just you know. No, you got to it. I wanted you to get to that part. You know what I mean? I
saw the face.
yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, my point of view is none of this incentivizes women to form families. None of it. Even if you were able to convince the Republicans to do this, right? Even if you were able to do it and you're not. To me, before you even get to the other part, you got to pass the first part. And the first part's not going to happen. I don't give a fuck what Trump did and what he tried to do and none of that. Again, there are more women here. There are more black women here. I don't give a fuck if every human with a dick in America walked in and voted for it. You're losing simply because there's more women in the room. Simply. And no politician is going to push that because it's political suicide to do it.
That's true.
Now, if you get past that point, and Adam W, I got you. I'm gonna have to drop someone for a second to let Adam W comment. But even if you get past that part, even if you pass that part, it still don't make or incentivize black women. In other words, you're trying to say, well, we want to put you on your knuckles so that you have to come back to black men. So if they got the babies, they're doing so badly that they gotta fuck with us. Right? That's the point. So you kind of force the patriarchy on them. Number one, who wants to deal with that? Who wants that woman that you had to, pretty much tie her arms behind her back to force her to fuck with your program? That's number one. Number two, it ain't happening because they got other options. The man just said the labor force is their percentage in the labor force is high. So how many women in reality are on these benefits? And those are the women you want? The ones that don't want to get off welfare? Really?
Yeah.
That's the ones you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
This shit sucks. If you ask me, it sucks from Jump Street. I'm not going to, hit a chick with the Nancy Kerrigan rod to make her fuck with me. I'm not gonna do it. And the fact that we have to go to the white man to get him to do it, to do that, and try to convince him that is beneficial to him also, is crazy. Again, this ain't about the average male walking the streets. It's like Adam already said, this is about the people at the top and the politicians. They benefit from this shit. And I already explained in the last video that they'll pay for it. As long as they get this effect, if we're at a disadvantage, it's worth the money. They're paying for a war in the Ukraine and they got shit to do with us, and they're losing money and they're fucking killing the dollar to do that. You think there's all this fake WWF shit about welfare is hurting this country? Welfare ain't as big a nut as all that other shit they spend money on. Come on. Yeah, it ain't nowhere near that. So why would they? Oh, we got to get rid of this.
Yep.
No, it's political suicide. And even if they did it, these women would find all types of dick-sucking OnlyFans ways to not fuck with niggas.
Yeah, and I do want to say one thing that lines up exactly what you're saying. That's exactly how a monopoly works, right? They'll go into a neighborhood. Mom and pop is charging $5 because that's the market rate. Monopoly goes in. The monopoly company, the big firm, comes in, and they purposely will charge so low that they can't make profit, just so that mom and pop goes out of business. So if you look at it from that way, it's like, look, you could say, hey, they're losing money, yeah, but they know that you're losing worse than them, and they know that they have more money than you. So you're going to run out of money before they do, and then they can charge what they want to charge. Shit. So even if go ahead, man, that's just one.
No, I was just going to say, surely the WNBA operates at a loss. We know that, but they still operate, right?
Yep.
There ain't no white man you could convince to shut down the WNBA because, hey, you're losing money.
That'd be career suicide. It'd be career suicide. You're right.
Right.
Yep.
So it sounds good.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah. Hey, the white man, WNBA commissioner, you're losing money here. Why don't you shut this shit down? It ain't working. Well, gotta keep it going because who's gonna shut down the women's league? Who's gonna be the face of that?
It's funny. I think I looked it up one time.
Come on, man.
I looked it up one time. What's the thing with the boys that be playing in college? Them college boys don't get played, and in one season they make more money than all the WNBA, and they don't get paid. That's just college basketball. The college basketball guys make more money in one season than they make all year. I mean. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
The WNBA, the women will be the face of the WNBA eventually shutting down because it can't keep operating at a loss, but for so long.
Of course it can.
20 years. It's been 20 years.
Right. And for 20 years it's operated at a loss.
Because it's not a for-profit business.
It's going to keep on doing that.
Eventually, it's going to fold upon itself just like it's done before. It's done before. I know that. They have safeguards, but hold on.
Let me drop you down for a second. Hey, hold on, man.
No, you said don't talk over you. I'm trying to talk right now.
Hold the thought for a minute, motherfucker. I'm telling Mega. I say, yo, Mega, let me drop you down for a minute because I'm maxed out. So I'm gonna drop you down for a minute. I'm gonna bring you back. Because guys are trying to hit me up to get in the conversation. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna drop you down and then I'm gonna bring you back up. I'll let you.
He got rid of himself.
So what are you saying? Babe, what were you saying? Let's keep it going, I guess.
What I was saying was because eventually, because these people are under contracts, eventually contracts run out. And when contracts run out, motherfuckers want to go back to the drawing board. And what a corporation will do, no matter what's going on, will try to minimize their loss. Because they didn't think it would be this bad.
It ultimately depends. I think you have a valid argument there. I mean, I guess it really depends on whether the WNBA is viewed by these corporations as a non-for-profit or not. And by that, I mean, are these companies investing in the WNBA because they know it makes them look good, and that's the benefit?
That is the benefit. It's been operating at a loss for 20 years. So I just want to pause on that point.
Go ahead.
Because it's been 20 years. Remember, the WNBA came out in the 90s, fellas. We're now in 2022. Like when I started officiating, the WNBA was just getting started. And it was
it's been around for 25 years now.
25 years. I've been a referee for 22. And when I started, the WNBA was operating at a loss because they were talking about not paying us. So it's been operating at a loss all this time. So your whole premise of, well, eventually they'll figure out. It's been we've had two different commissioners in the NBA since then, and it still hasn't been pulled. We've lost a few teams where they couldn't keep stadiums, but as Marcus said, it would be career suicide to pull the plug on a WNBA right now. And sometimes you got to.
I will say this. But
is it a public benefit corporation? I just want to know that. Is it a public benefit corporation?
No, the WNBA is a subsidiary of the NBA, which is a for-profit corporation.
Well, hey,
fascinating.
Babe, let me say this I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I think Chaos wanted to say something. Babe, nobody's saying I use the WNBA as an example of something that makes sense, but they do the opposite. You think companies don't operate at a loss? The WNBA is not going anywhere. They're gonna keep running that. They're gonna pay for it from the NBA. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, you talk about contracts being over and all that shit. They're gonna get renewed, and the shit's going to keep going because if they shut that down, it's going to be a bad fucking look. Look what all the noise they making over this stupid chick that went over there and got fucked up.
Brittany Renner.
Yeah,
she gets exactly what the fuck she deserved.
That's fine, right? But again, they're on everybody to help her out somehow. I agree with you, but understand you in the mind of motherfuckers do what makes sense. Not just me, but we are trying to explain to you.
Griner, sorry, Brittany Griner.
Yeah, Brittany Griner. Renner is the other bitch. So I'm trying to understand you. I mean, I'm trying to make you understand.
That bitch gonna stay over there. She's staying over there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to make you understand that there's nobody that's going to shut down the WNBA because it makes financial sense to do. They're going to spend that money. They're going to take that L because they can afford to do it. And that's it. And it'll be a bad look if they don't continue to do that. Period.
Just give it time.
And here's the funny thing about this.
Give it time.
Okay,
you
wait for it.
As soon as the climate changes,
you wait for it.
You'll see. Well, it might not even happen in our lifetime, or maybe it will. But when the climate starts changing, because right now the pendulum is swinging the other way, it's going more meninist. You'll see. Just give it time.
You wait for that. Chaos.
But you gotta understand, they take loss because they try and push this agenda here. Everybody know in business, you only could take so much of a loss that it comes to a point where say you gotta let it go. They've been hanging on to this defective product for over a generation now, and it's not getting better; it's getting actually worse. And the problem of that is we all know why they're putting the money into this. And then I hear even rumors say, well, you know, if they let the women do like dunks, it'll make it more interesting. No, not, because even fucking are not supporting fucking women. Because women don't want to see other women play fucking basketball. I see actual men play basketball, the aggression. You can't jiggy with women passing the ball, shooting it. It gets dull and redundant. So, like I said, the NBA is worth over $1 billion. Yeah, they got the money to keep losing that small I think it's not even close to $100 million they spend on that fucking league. I think it's like 20 million? What's the number they spend every year for this to keep that shit running? What's the money? Can someone run it to me again?
Hello? What is it? What money?
How much money are they spending every year with the mandate? Yes.
Oh, with the mandate.
No, how much money they're investing every year to that defective sport?
Oh, I just read an article. I just saw a headline from the Inquirer that says the WNBA raised $75 million to revamp the league's business strategy. So that's that was in February 2022.
All right, so we could probably conclude that they're only putting in they're only putting like 25 million a year on this garbage. So when we look at the money these women are making, they're not even over millionaires. That's in the top in their own sport. And they have the audacity to beg, say they should make as much as a regular NBA player. And I'm thinking, saying, what deem you worthy of more money than a product that's worth in the billions? If anybody can't answer that question, then I would say, okay, they're worth it. No one has ever asked that question. They say they're entitled. And I say, you're not entitled with a goddamn fucking thing. You're here to produce. If a man don't do anything, he don't eat. And there's nothing that's really I could say I could eat off of this. But I can see why he's running because, like I said, it's like a bigger agenda, and it makes good that in good faith that said we have something for women, and you know we put it out here anyway, so we're not biased.
All right. And that's the thing; it's not a loss. They're not looking at it as a loss. It's an investment. It's marketing. That's what it is. That's what the WNBA is. It's not, oh, it's a loss or they're losing money. No, it's money spent on marketing, right? Women get paid for effort, men get paid for results. That's the bottom line.
Oh my God, hold on. Let's pause. Could you say that again, please?
Women get paid for effort, men get paid for results.
Bars. I just want that recognized.
You know what?
Let's move forward. Now let's move forward.
All right, I got one thing.
let me get this in.
Before you. All right, go ahead.
Let me get this in. The WNBA, as you know, it's getting worse and worse and worse. They're losing money. I mean, like you said, 75 million on marketing strategy, which is way too much to try to figure out how to make the games more profitable. Because eventually, it's going to come to a point where the only money that they're really getting is from the NBA, and that's not enough to sustain the league. Okay. So whoever is the people that are sponsoring them right now, who aren't making any money in those stadiums during their games, when those contracts run out, they're not going to return. You'll probably be lucky to get a Coke in that building,
It's
Jimmy's
never
popcorn, or Auntie Anne's pretzels. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because they're not going to operate at a loss. They're a private company.
So let me read some of these chat comments, right? And I want to get back to not the forcing women to bow down,
to dribble a ball and get on the knees, doing it too. So
let me read some of these comments. Michael Gomez says, I feel like they do have the numbers to keep it this way. I agree with you. And he says, this is referring to your theory. This is way too theoretical. You might as well tell me reparations will happen. All right. So we talking about cocktails with the queens, and that was in reference to Ice Cube with his contract for America, right? Mm-hmm. We seen a motherfucker try to appeal to both parties, and we know what happened with that. So yeah, exactly. The shit he is spewing is far from the modern democratic platform that happens at the local level. Facts. Maxine Waters tried to shame black men for voting Trump, but she praised Meg the Stallion or Greg.
Well, she's about to get canceled very soon, and once this happens, I'm definitely gonna do content, especially on that fucking bitch.
Right. So, yeah. So, and now I want to. I mean, we. What's up? Talk to me.
Nah, I was just clowning the name. That's all. But I had something to say about a greater point that Bay was making. Look, the social work bureaucracy put in place to make sure the welfare state in all forms, including the WNBA, runs smoothly, will not dismantle itself to satisfy the whims of a few Southern white men and urban black men. There's simply not enough collective social or financial capital to compete with the companies who invest in incarcerating us and providing services to black women and all other women. As far as voting, we have a sizable portion of felons in our group, and that's another factor. That there's a whole group of people that commit the same amount of crimes, but they don't get that label. So even if our voting block was to do something, it doesn't matter. We have that there. Black women are employed and served by said bureaucracy, and there's a thin line between the hen-house corporate HR lady, somebody that works in the corporate part of the WNBA, and a welfare social office worker. Feel me? They're all part of the same system. They're not going to be dismantled by anything. They've survived through multiple forms of government on the left and the right, and they're not going anywhere. You know who put them in place? Reagan.
Yep. And you know what's funny?
Whoa.
Say that one more time, bro. Say the last thing one more time.
You know who put them in place? Reagan. I remember my homie's mom from Philly saying the crack era welfare was the shit.
Damn.
You got a retort for that, Bay? Okay, moving on to Adam McTow.
Well, one thing, Marcus, I just sent you a link to an article in the Inquirer. I think you might find it interesting, particularly about the WNBA. And I know it was used as an illustrative point, but I think this actually helps to turn this. It turns your illustration into the animal, the allegory of what we're talking about, right? This is exactly what the black community is in a nutshell in the WNBA, right? It is investing in black women is a political move used for political capital. So you're converting your dollars into political points that you can use to then achieve more power and then put laws in place or lobby, whatever you need to do once you have that power. This is a perfect example, right? So we just spoke about, come on, please don't do it. Don't be a paywall. Okay, good. But we just spoke about how WNBA loses all this money, right? It just loses all this money. So what happens when they lose money? That's all they do is they just can't make anything, right? What do? People invest in them.
There you go.
Now, the momentum principle, which has proven true for 212 years, the momentum principle investing basically says that if you want good returns, you sell the past losers and you buy in the winners, because the winners are going to keep winning, the losers are going to keep losing, right? So any prudent investor would say this thing just all it does is lose money. Why would I invest in this? And I have never heard of companies, although I'm not sure if it does or doesn't happen, but this is the first time. I've been investing for quite some time that I've heard of a company investing into another company as a fund just to help them change their business model. So that's what this money is for. This money is actually to help them change their business model because they're failing. So you admit that they're failing and you're going to give them more money to fail with, right? But if you scroll down, you can see you can see exactly what this is for, right? Because look who are named among some of the people who are investors. Right, I think you might be scroll past. I think it's the third paragraph or whatever. It says Condoleezza Rice, Michael Jordan, right? Why are these people investing in a failed business? Now, notice that it was actually valued at $1 billion. They actually started selling some of the equity in the sport. I mean, in the WNBA actually. So they made their money. Contrary to popular belief, when it comes to money, they're making their money. So even though the company's losing, the people who were supposed to make their money made their money and everyone else got dumped on. That's just how the market works. But when you look here, right, dozens of investors, including investments from Nike, Condoleezza Rice, whoever that guy is, I guess I got to look him up again, Pau Gasol. I forgot what that guy is. Several NBA and WNBA team owners invested in the WNBA. WNBA is losing money in team owners.
Yeah.
People who are... These are the top of the top, elite of the elite, investing in a failed project. Penn graduates, right? Karen Lisa, former CEO, co-founder of Metropolitan Capital Advisors. Think about that. She was the CEO and co-founder of Metropolitan Capital Advisors. That's an investment firm. These are people who are big in finance. They're dealing with billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on a daily basis. And this is what she chooses to invest her money in. But you're telling me that this is losing money and these people don't know what they're doing? So we know better that this company is losing. We shouldn't invest anything in the subsidiary, right? But the former CEO or the CEO and co-founder of the Metropolitan Capital Advisors, suddenly this person, is investing in, and we know better than her. We know better than Nike. We know, with all their advanced financial advisors. We know better than Condoleezza Rice. Probably some of us do. We know better than Michael Jordan. These are the people who are investing in, all these team owners, people who deal with tens of millions of dollars on a daily basis. And you're saying, and they're investing in this failed project. And you're telling me that they're not going to invest in it because it's failing. They're going to let it die. You're telling me Nike doesn't know what it's doing?
Yeah. So
there's a reason why they're doing this, Marcus. Go ahead, man. I know what you're about to do.
I want you. Did you want to say something, Mega?
Nah, I just said it reminded me of the money loom schemes that were going around on Facebook and in Brooklyn, but they're using millions of dollars in a sport to kind of make it go through. It's the same exact model as a money loom scheme.
Basically, all of this at the end of the day, see Rodimus. At the end of the day, people are putting good money after bad to invest in black women because it's a good look. Now, maybe it's a tax write-off. It could be this. It could be that. Whatever we don't, they'll continue to do it. Now, here we are on the sideline saying, well, it's going to stop someday. Soon the government going to get tired of giving these women this free money. Soon the corporations and the private funders and sponsors are going to get tired of giving these women money for their little league basketball. One day, It's gonna happen. Just you wait and see. That's what we waiting for. So then they could be on their knuckles and say, "Hey, Black Daddy, let's build a family now." That's what's gonna save the Black community.
I ain't waiting on none of that shit.
Is this what's gonna save the Black family?
I'm not waiting on it.
That's not the question. The question is, because last stream you said, well, you cared about Black people. Is this supposed to save the Black family?
Well, give it some sort of chance, but I guess not.
No, because it's the same way Dr. Claude Anderson, who I have a ton of respect for, he gave a plan out that, if acted upon, should have worked.
It would have saved Detroit.
But you got to get people to do it and understand that these women are incentivized to vote the other way, and there's more of them. The politicians are not incentivized to fuck with you, like Mega said, like I said, and even Adam said. And even if they were, the women ain't with it. They're going to do anything they can to not have to suck up to you in this country.
What's my plan? What's my plan?
You still no, because you said, well, if you take away this and they can't.
No.
Hold on, let me finish first. Babe, let me finish.
What's my plan for
you said
I'm past that.
Bro, let me say, you can say whatever you want when I'm done fucking talking. You said that if they can't get the benefits back because they done blew they one shot load, that at that point they would be doing so bad that they would have to come back to the family structure. That's what you said, bro. It's recorded. You didn't say anything different. So go ahead.
So what's the plan to reunite the family structure?
You're asking me, an SYSBM nigga?
I'm asking in general. I know you don't give a fuck.
No, you're trying to do that. I've never attempted to say that there was a plan. This is you saying.
I just said I asked in general.
So you know, I could say something about that.
Go. Okay, go ahead, because again, for you to ask me that,
I wasn't asking you. I said I asked in general.
Nobody here has a plan but you, because you need that reality, not us. Understand?
Okay, so I want to hear somebody else's idea.
Well, no, here's what you do. You redefine the Black woman. If the Black woman is any woman that the Black man has a child with, then you solved your problem. If you limit the Black woman to just the Black American woman, or the phenotype, then it's over, because they're already set against you. But you know what? The white man went around the world and had kids with women all over the world, and those kids still came out his, and he was still a white man, right? So if you're patrilineal instead of matrifocal or matrilineal, right? That's the difference, right? If you have a matrilineal mindset that your lineage can only pass through the female, and otherwise it's not true lineage, then of course you only need Black women. But if you're patrilineal, where it's like, forget that, as long as it's my seed, then it's always going to be me, then you could be like Dave Chappelle. His kid's still Black. You could be like Kanye West. His kid's still Black. That's the solution. You redefine the Black woman as any woman with whom a Black man has kids, and your problem's solved.
I like that.
You don't need these women there. That's my.
Because you know what? I've been preaching that for a long time. Even when I was doing my conscious videos, I always said, hey, a woman is a woman. I don't care nothing about race or religion. If you good to me, I'm good to you. Flat out.
So let me address some comments here. King says, what the fuck is he talking about? That's not a Black woman. However, any woman we have a kid with is Black offspring. Now, I have to agree with this man. I understand what you're saying theoretically. Now, any woman I put my dick in does not become Black by virtue of me doing that. But the offspring definitely is. So this idea.
That's not what he meant by that.
No, I'm not saying that's what he meant. I'm talking about the commenter.
Right, I know, but I'm saying what bro was saying.
That's what I said.
What he meant by that.
Okay, I didn't say that. That's why I say I understand his.
I was responding to the comment.
Okay, so you're talking about Davy McTow. You talking about King or Davi McTow for my pronunciation. Who are you responding to? You responding to King?
I'll let the person who made the statement explain it, because it was taken at face value. But I'm pretty sure
Again, that's why I called it a theory.
Based on how I heard it,
nobody said okay. So at the end of the day, I get it. What I'm saying to the man whose comment is on the screen right now, I guess he's being, it's a theoretical or a hypothetical. The way I see it is, in reality, since most of us here have some sort of, in this country, have some sort of mixed heritage or mixed lineage, right? Out of slavery, but we still call ourselves black, then where does the theory come from that your blackness or your genotype is destroyed because you fuck with somebody that's, and then that's what a lot of people go.
I'm gonna intervene and talk about this because I've noticed that it shifted before 1960 and before the Loving Law even came about. You see, most of those couples were white males and black females. If you look in our Y DNA, it's all European DNA. There's no female DNA like white DNA in our X chromosome. It's all black women. You feel me? Like it's all sister. But on the Y end, it's a lot of Mr. Charlie in there, right? So after the shift happened, after the 60s, I say in the 80s is when white women started coming around and having children with us. I don't know what it is, but the one way is cool and the other way is not. The redheaded stepchild from their end was acceptable, but Kobe's daughters, etc., are not. It sounds like a sperm corral situation. It sounds like they're trying to keep our DNA in for themselves and introduce other DNA, but we're not allowed to go outside. It's endogamy for one party only, and it's always been like that. It's selective endogamy, of course. A mixed child from a black man is a mixed child, but everybody on the other side is black. And we can even go into hyper descent versus hypo descent. They want the Latin American system for us, and then they want the American system for them. Anybody born from a black woman is black, but in the Latin American system, you put a little bit of cream in the coffee and it's not coffee anymore. You understand?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's funny about hoarding and keeping the DNA. Yeah, that's very interesting. I look at today, most people are going to do what they want anyway. So if people are being shamed to, I guess, say, do what they want, it tells me it's another form of control. There's no part right now in history that a man's going to start shaming the sisters doing what they going to be doing. I have not seen it done successfully. I have not even seen it done now. So usually this issue with the interracialism is more on the female side of things, but when I did my content, especially about the extra 1,000,002 babies done by, Mr. Sperling and Igmore a few months ago, I looked at the data personally, and Nora it's an old data, but it's still relevant today. That said, every group of men out has more kids than the women, except us, amongst us in our community. The women have more kids than us. And out of that extra, some of them, from what is proven evident now, that they mess around other groups of men and have their kids and come back in the community like it's the black community. So it makes me want to say, when they talk about the cleanup, man, it's evident to keep the control of the mind of the boys that will become men, so they don't go nowhere, so they could flaunt around with their pussies and have these bastard children and bring back and you take care of them. You get me? So it's like another fear tactic. At the end, when you hear them with this right now, just to try to shame. They're only shaming simps and dudes that are very pro-black, as I see today, but they don't really give a fuck about you. Let me be honest, they just don't. the behaviors show it, you know. So, like I said, if they could have it good like they said it could, then they would have gone and got it already. But we know that once this man implants and affects them, they ain't want nothing to do with them. They send back to the streets. You know the saying, she belongs to the streets. Send back to the way. And that's how it goes.
Shout out to my man Rodimus. You know, he's the inventor of the term cock sleeve, and he said AKA blend tape. So he talks about mixed girls. He calls it blend tapes. It's funny as shit. I'm going to bring the conversation back to the Supreme Court justice. I want to play a video for y'all. I'm going to share the screen so I could bring that shit up. Because we gotten too far off into this shit. I want this because I want Bay to see this, since he basically said, you know, he didn't really care about you know, this female and her, because, you know, what they tried to do to Clarence Thomas and all this other shit. So here we go. So I'm gonna play this video.
Oh, right? This is real. She's a weirdo.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this. Yeah, I'm gonna play this video. All right. Hopefully we get the sound on it. Hold on, let me bring the sound up. And here we go.
As a mother and a judge who has had to deal with these cases, I was thinking that nothing could be further from the truth. These are some of the most difficult cases that a judge has to deal with, because we're talking about pictures of sex abuse of children. We're talking about graphic descriptions that judges have to read and consider when they decide how to sentence in these cases. And there's a statute that tells judges what they're supposed to do. Congress has decided what it is that a judge has to do in this and any other case when they sentence. And that statute doesn't say, look only at the guidelines and stop. The statute doesn't say, impose the highest possible penalty for this sickening and egregious crime. The statute says, calculate the guidelines, but also look at various aspects of this offense and impose a sentence that is, quote, sufficient but not greater than necessary to promote the purposes of punishment. And in every case, when I am dealing with something like this, it is important to me to make sure that the children's perspective, the children's voices are represented in my sentencings. And what that means is that for every defendant who comes before me and who suggests, as they often do, that they're just a looker, that these crimes don't really matter, they've collected these things on the internet and it's fine, I tell them about the victim statements that have come into me as a judge. I tell them about the adults who are former child sex abuse victims who tell me that they will never have a normal adult relationship because of this abuse. I tell them about the ones who say, I went into prostitution, I fell into drugs because I was trying to suppress the hurt that was done to me as an infant. And the one that was the most telling to me, that I describe at almost every one of these sentencings, when I look in the eyes of a defendant who is weeping because I'm giving him a significant sentence, what I say to him is, do you know that there is someone who has written to me and who has told me that she has developed agoraphobia?
All right.
What the fuck does any of that have to do with her giving them lighter sentences?
So, and this was something that she did repeatedly. So I want to know, you know, and I posted this on my Facebook page, and I wanted to see who was going to defend it. And the usual loud motherfuckers silent. All right? The same people, because it's my position that Trump supporters and people who hardcore support Democratic shit are the same to me. They're the same. You know, you just defend your side and you're silent about the bullshit from either side. We supposed to be Black Lives Matter, anti-cop, but you know, we support Kamala Harris because she's a black woman in the vice presidency seat. Then, you know, all these contradictions. You understand what I'm saying? And now we got this woman who is more symbolism, and she let a lot of child abusers off, right? She let a lot of them off. So, you know, and me and you, babe, we've had our conversations about pedos and things like that. But what I'm saying is, in the general discussion, somebody like her is supposed to not be the one, right? At least the pussy that Trump was grabbing, for the most part, because he's been accused of some shit too, was grown women, and Kavanaugh too. But again, my position is men trying to get pussy, which is the typical thing that is thrown at anybody trying to be a politician, a court justice, or anything like that, does not hold the candle to supporting people who abuse children. I don't think anybody here would disagree with me. It's kind of quiet in here.
Were you looking for somebody to disagree with you?
No, I'm looking for somebody to say I'm right, that nobody here would disagree with me.
Well, yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. I
don't want it to go without saying. We talking here, so you know. Let me bring up some topics. So,
I got politicians in my family, and they support Shorty, so I'm kind of feeling weird.
So look, Crime Bill 2.0 will come from her. This is Mega right here. If this summer is hot, I wonder who they'll trot out to control the youngest. We may be looking at her, right? Micah, I see you. I appreciate the love, right? Shout out to all the brothers in the chat. So, okay, so we all know that bitch is a planet agent. Now, anybody from New York knows that right now we got Eric Adams, and then he put a black woman police commissioner, right, to run shit. Adam, you already know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Right now, it is fucking trending to give black women positions of political power.
That was the Biden presidency was all about it, and that was his campaign promise. His campaign promise.
Deeper than that, though, bro. We talking about New York now. Eric Adams ain't got shit to do with Biden's campaign promise. Understand that black women are overrepresented in the government pre-Biden.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a thing. It's been a thing, and it's going to continue to be a thing, and that's why all that other shit we talking about is hocus pocus dream sequence.
Oh, but that was one of the points I was saying, that you know, Biden was considered he was considered the reddest Democrat, basically, right? And yet he's towing the line. This is what they've been doing. He's, you know, one of the things they'll never do is do anything for black men. But notice how he's doing all these things for them, and like it's not just him, right? He's just the next person in line who's been a part of doing it. In fact, Trump actually put black women in office too. So that is red or blue, right? Because didn't he have what's her name in there? What was that chick that fell out disgraced, but she came in there pushing toe on the line? The black chick, I forgot her name, that came into office with Trump. It was some weird name.
Oh, Amberosa.
Yeah, Amberosa, yeah. You know, or Amberosa. So it's the same thing. You know, they're overrepresented in government, specifically for the reason that is suggested by Miller's or Errol Miller's research, that this is a tactic used to undermine black men. And of course, whenever you call that out, now you're sexist, misogynist. You can't even call it out. So now it's just over, right? You can't say anything.
So understand, Biden is just doing what's been done. He didn't start the trend. He's another politician that has to ride that wave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like in the reality of things, that's what I like to deal with, motherfucking reality. right? SYSBM is not a philosophy that will tell you that you're going to fight the system that was built against you, right? To turn against its own objective in your favor. It's not going to happen. It's like Michael Gomez said earlier, it's like expecting reparations. You understand what I'm saying? So the less black men are equally represented, we will be put further to the back of the bus, so to speak. At the end, we're underrepresented in real numbers, and like Mega said earlier, or was it Adam, that a lot of black men are felons and are disqualified from the process to begin with. So that brings the numbers down even further. This isn't about appealing to Republicans. It's about numbers and influencing politicians and incentivizing them to vote for your or to move in your interests. And there ain't enough motherfuckers to do that. It's just not. So you're already put in place plan to jump on the plane and get the fuck out of here. That's more realistic. You can do that.
Yeah. Like, this is not the hill to die on. You know, SYSBM is not going to tell you to run up a hill that's got a machine gun nest on it charged. Like, we're not doing that. You know, and that's running into the machine, running into the gunfire is not going to work.
So you're asking the wrong guys, what do they think about saving shit? Understand, I said earlier, matter of fact, I'm going to say this to you, Bay, to a mutual friend without saying her name. Right? A mutual friend that we have. You know who this person is. I said, I said, women are the biggest protectors and defenders of abusers in our community. That's a fact. I won't debate that with nobody. They're the biggest protectors and defenders of abusers in our community. I just played a video where a woman, I want to play the video. Cruz basically runs through the different cases, because that's a video too. He runs through the different cases that she ruled on and reduced the sentences for these offenders, right? Black woman, right? More proof of what I just said. They don't give a fuck about that. They just want her there because it's a good look. Again, more nonsense, right? That people don't care. That's nonsense as long as it's a good look. WNBA, good look, right?
Yep.
It's a loss, but it's a good look, you know? So put this woman in the seat, regardless. The black women don't care. It's a good look, right? At the end of the day, I said, all of this abuse that we're seeing in our communities are a result of the deterioration of the family. The boyfriends, the cousins, the uncles have now moved in to abuse children. It is a fact that the biological father is the last person that would be the abuser. Not saying that none of them do it, but, and you can look it up if motherfuckers don't believe me, they are the last to be the abuser. Yep. I asked our friend, what do you think biological fathers are likely to do when they catch cousins, uncles, brothers, or boyfriends?
Goodbye to dude.
Fucking with their children. You know what she said to me? And matter of fact, Mega, you're familiar with this person I'm talking about also. This is a female. All right? I asked her, I asked her, what do you think fathers do when they catch these guys fucking with their children? She said, I don't know. I had to hang the fuck up.
I guess they take them for ice cream.
She knows.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
But you know, what's the interesting thing about it is that it's interesting because when a guy catches the interesting thing about it is that the women themselves commit these acts against children at a higher rate than the men. So even these boyfriends, cousins, and uncles that do this aren't doing this as much as the aunts you know. But I see your point. I see your point.
I got you. Before we get there, because no, what you're saying is valid. Bay, because I want to address this debate, because Bay knows what I'm talking about. So does Kyle. Understand, this person, I hung up the phone on her because that was too much cap for me.
I'm going through our mutual friends, and there are people that put in work on the friend, like that have done things because of that on that friends list. Like she knows people personally, so that's mad cap. She is super cap.
So you telling me that you don't know what black men do, black fathers do, when pedos fuck with their children? You're just oblivious, right? Because you don't want to agree with me. You don't want to say that the problem is the single mother paradigm. You don't want to say that women allow these things to happen. So, and Adam, before we get to your part of it, I just want this to rest on these two gentlemen because they know the woman I'm talking about. Now, mind you, I fucks with her. That's my nigga. But that was too much cap for me. It's to the point where motherfuckers are being obtuse. And that's why, hey, Mega, remember that shit I put up? I'm not entertaining disingenuous conversations. That's what that post was about.
Oh.
That's what that was about. And I had to hang up. I said, yo, I'll talk to you later. I got to go. Because people are lying to protect the image of black women.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Let's do a poll. How many of us had underage contact with an adult black woman? Raise your hand in this panel.
You say again now?
How many of us, when we were underage, had sexual contact with an adult black woman?
I was not so lucky, sir.
I did.
But
yeah, neither was I, and I was glad.
I know.
Wasn't an adult, but she was definitely older.
I know guys in my circle like that. Yeah. I think that if it wasn't you, it was your man's.
And that's crazy that 2 out of 5. Well, let me ask you, how many people here have had an adult black male take advantage of you in that way when you were a kid?
Yeah.
So 2 out of the 5 people here have had an adult black woman sexually abuse them as children. I'm calling it what it is.
Multiple times.
No disrespect. I'm just calling it what it is. So all this idea. So even though, like Marcus said, I'm not discrediting the point. That is a factual point that the boyfriend, the uncle, a man that doesn't necessarily live there is more likely to harm that child than the father. It's also true that a female family member is more likely to do it than either of them and to get away with it.
There's another fact. What do you know about the common trope of losing your virginity to your mother's friend or a babysitter that was older? Like someone told me a 14-year-old babysitter when they were 7.
Yeah. So that's 2 out of 5 people right here.
With me, it was a babysitter.
So let's I'm gonna address the comment, and because it's directly connected to what you just said. Isn't there a woman that recently allowed her son to be messed with? Lead attorney talked about the case a week and a half ago. Understand, my boy that I grew up with, right? He was fucking all his mother's friends, and she knew about it. Wow, and she knew it. Yeah, she knew. And she
pimping him out,
and she knew, and Mama knew it.
Nah, my mom found out about a situation, and she put the 45 in the glove box and went to the apartment complex and tried to get Shorty to come outside. So.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Is it right?
And that's the thing. That's why, to Marcus's point earlier, just a few minutes ago, that by and large, as SYSBM, man, we like without black men, there is no family. And I'll go as far as to say that there can be no black family without black men, right? You can have a black family without a black woman, but without a black man, you can't. Because, I dare somebody to argue the opposite. Because when you look at the state of the black community right now, without fathers in the homes, you can't. I mean, you gotta be a cotton picking fool to tell me that this thing is this thing is a community, that this is a family, right? Fathers leave inheritance. Single mothers don't leave inheritance, right?
No.
Fathers protect their children, especially from predators. Black women don't really be protecting their children from predators like that, right? They from the stranger on the street, yeah, from the unrealistic, improbable predator, yeah, they'll protect them. But from her homegirl is coming up in the house and doing all that stuff, she's not going to protect you from that. The father, anybody who's doing that, he's not letting his kids be handled like that. The father's going to have his kids passing classes. Single mothers don't care if the kids cheating, passing classes, going to school or not. They only care when the school calls up so that she don't get brought up on charges for child neglect, right? So you can't have a black family without a black man. So you know what? I would argue that if you're SYSBM and you're traveling and you're marrying these women, that you are fixing a black family, because without you, there is no black family.
I got you. That I do co-sign. I get you what you just said. That makes sense to me. In a minute, we're gonna start, closing this out. We've been here almost 3 hours. If anybody wants to jump into this discussion, or you want me to address a question or a comment or anything in the chat, I posted the link again. Feel free to type something in there or hit that link and I'll bring you in real quick. But at the end of the day, bros, all of this coming to meet in the middle shit, we tried it in the racial discussion. Now I'm hearing guys talk about this type of stuff in the gender discussion. Like right now, it's like first we got to deal with, white supremacy, and now we're dealing with feminism. And I remember when Trump was running against Hillary, and all my typical liberal black male friends was like, yes, Hillary this, Hillary that. And I told them, I said, listen, right now we're voting racism versus feminism. There was no good choice, for black men, there was no obvious way to go. There wasn't even a lesser of two evils. Both of them shits is fucked up.
Hold on, they were voting in racism on her end. Let's not forget what she said about the super predators and how people need to be put in the hill. Like
it was racism plus feminism.
Okay, now that's a very, very, very good argument. That is extremely, because my point of view is that the Democratic Party is now more right-leaning than it's ever been. But I'm gonna bring in Black Sands. I'm gonna have him make a comment. Hold on. My point of view is that the Democratic Party is now more right. You're gonna have to turn down your thing there. I'm gonna bring in Black Sands. I'm gonna have him make a comment. Yeah, you're gonna have to turn down. I had to mute you for a second. Turn down your volume there, and then I'll bring you back in. I'll bring in Black Sands. You gotta turn down your volume on your thing there.
He just needs to mute YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube that you are. Yeah, mute the video.
Yeah, mute
YouTube. Go to your YouTube tab. Yeah, go to your YouTube tab and mute the video, and come back to StreamYard. You'll be able to hear us on there. All right, I think he's good to hold on. I think he's good to go. Black Sands was good.
Hey, welcome, family.
How you doing?
Just listening to people talking about, black male issues in this country, man. And, the commentary is on point. A lot of topics have been touched on. I mean, black men are definitely getting, we're still getting the scraps. We're still getting, everyone's eating off of us, psychologically, emotionally, physically, all in all ways. And I just think that, for black men, we have to. I don't want to ramble, guys. What am I trying to say? I think the whole idea of the female, passivity, the female, what's the word I want to say? Can't do no wrong, in a sense that a lot of men are really starting to see that. And the tropes that, you know, men are the bad guys and that, you know, or that other people need this kind of help. Like there's a Black Femme March that's going to happen. You know, they're saying that, you know, women die every 5.5, you know, hours. I mean, that's a really crass statistic that just is just made up out of thin air. When you really, I mean, you try to make sympathy out of circumstances that are really loose. When you know what I'm saying, well, if a Black woman die, I'm a Black woman, then that I have to mean, I mean, well, you know, we're not really thinking about just natural causes, you know, the specifics of these events. I just want to say I appreciate listening to people, to Black men like myself, just talk about these things, and I really wish I had more to say because I'm kind of like nervous, but I just want to say thank you. Keep up your good work. Keep it 100, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Are you your laptop or your computer? Or
I'm on a laptop.
Press the thing where it says start camera to put the icon, because I don't mind people talking in dark shadow, but it has to be some type of icon. It looks like a shadow.
How do I do that?
No, he's good, bro. Don't worry about it.
It says start cam right there on the studio, because you're in the studio.
Chaos.
Yeah, perfect. There you go.
Yeah. Chaos. It's not important, bro. I appreciate you for jumping on here. Because I know a lot of guys, they like you said, you know, you might get nervous or intimidated on the microphone, you know, on public speaking or whatever the case may be. So I appreciate you jumping on, man. And I appreciate, you you subscribe, you listen, you watch, whatever the case may be. And but we feel where you coming from, man. You know, I think that a more realistic approach is for guys to do themselves. If you move away from the table, right? Because you can't make somebody else do something. You can only do what you can do. And if you move away from the table, and if enough men move away from the table, that's when you'll see some shit. Because just like, you know, once upon a time, there was an era where, right, these chicks ain't have nowhere to go. And I ain't talking about financially. There ain't that much swirling happening with Black women. So you have to withdraw your participation in the bullshit. The young guys get it already. It's the older guys that got the problem. Most of these boomers and people like close to the boomers' age are the ones that are trying to reinvigorate or resurrect this community. It's done. It's over. So you got, again, we have more options than these women. It's in the numbers. Every few years, the interracial marriage of Black men goes up. This is statistically, Adam, you're the stat man. Kyle, you're the stat man. Y'all both know.
Yeah, it's trending, man. That's the thing. The people will say, oh, well, you know, I hate it when people say, oh, well, 85% of the Black people marry other Black people. Well, that's true. Well, that was true. But remember, those numbers were taken, you know, almost 20 years ago when those couples were 40 years old. Those couples are 60 years old now. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We're talking about what's trending. We're talking about what's coming next. And when we look at the numbers, it's only trending up. You know, you buy high and you buy low and you sell high, right? Like it's trending up. You already know what it is.
So I want people to understand, I'm not a divester. I'm not promoting these sorts of things. What I'm want to tell Black men is, if you are with a Black woman and the shit is working for you, that's great. But if you having difficulty, man, keep it moving.
Yes.
Anything else? Do something else.
Go where you're celebrated.
Be happy.
Do what the fuck you want to do, and let go of this idea, because we you know, when we have another conversation, we talk about, well, race is a social construct. Well, if that's the case, what the fuck are we trying to save? What, this whole idea of race? What are we trying to save here? And what are we throwing our short lives away for trying to save? Other men have tried. They died. You want to die on the same mission? I don't. It's not. I don't. It's. You'll be dead, and these conversations and this reality will still be here.
Yep.
It will still be here after you're gone. Women are still going to be on.
Brother, you got me along to the feedback. Their feedback. The guy, the new guy that came up. Just mute for a second.
Is it Black Sands?
Yeah, the guy that you brought up. Guy with the blank.
Turn the volume down on his YouTube.
Just mute up, breathe. Just mute up, breathe.
Nah, I muted him. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, none of this is going to be affected. We talking about what's going to happen outside of our lifetime. I don't give a fuck about. They ain't nobody else is giving a fuck about it. Honestly, only thing I can control is my direct environment, lineage, and things like that. And I think that if enough Black men controlled their own shit and went that route, that's when you'll see a change. We will get with women who are on the program, on code, et cetera, et cetera. Got to abandon. You don't keep the same car. You get a new car. You have to abandon the bullshit. It's over. Right? It's Chernobyl. It blew up. It's falling out with radioactive shit, radioactive matter. It's done. You want to put on a hazmat suit and clean this bitch up? No, it's a wrap. So I want everybody's closing comments. Let's do that. So we're gonna start with Bay. Bay, talk to me.
Well, I mean, for I would say the past year. Well, no, I'll say this year. I've been saying that we need to Noah's Ark is this shit, and I don't think people even understand what I mean by that. But it means that you got to get out. You got to get out. You see the storm is coming. Go ahead, get your preparations in, and then get out before the storm. Right when get out before it's too late. Flat out.
Talk to me, Adam.
Yeah, I agree. With the base sentiments here. I mean, effectively, we see what the situation is, right? We see what they're doing. It's obvious as day, and of course, we get gaslit for calling it out. But see, the purpose of, even communications like this, some may argue, well, why, if you're going to just get out, then why don't you just leave silently, right? Why don't you just stay? Why don't you just shut up and just don't leave? Just go your own way already. Well, first of all, we get to decide that. So this is an act of power because we're saying we can say what we want to say and they can't control us. And we got nothing to lose from them, so they got no control over it. But second of all, it helps Black men's image overall because when we do go to these other communities, all that bad talk that Black women are saying is that follows you. But when you have content like this, and you have brothers who are aware of the game, they're able to get ahead of that. There's a rebuttal, right? There's a counter to that, and so I think having talks like this with brothers and building with other men, of course, it's for our own personal edification and also betters Black men as a whole, and it leads to the goal, like you said, of Black men ultimately finding happiness. Because if we only live in till 80, and Black men are dying at 70, so if you're living to 70, 80, you really want to spend your life fixing something that they're spending their life not fixing?
They have control over it.
And they got control over it? You mean I'm coming into this house and I'm cleaning up your plates and my plates and I'm paying all the bills? Nah. Not doing that, bro. So you already know what time it is with me. But this is a great show, my brother. This is powerful.
Hey,
congratulations again, man. Congratulations again.
No doubt. I appreciate that. Black Sands, did you have any words you wanted to say? Let me unmute him. I think I got him on mute. Hey, Black Sands, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. I mean, Black men have to definitely, reassess the manhood thing. And I mean, I'm not going to let no woman define my manhood, especially if I look back and I see men in men in the past who I can see and reflect myself off of how they went through their situations, and how no, I'm not going to go soft. I cannot go soft. I wouldn't expect any other man to be soft. I wouldn't expect anyone who is seeing the deception and the gaslighting, just the deception, just the lies about, the I say majoring in minors. There's a lot of majoring in minors when it comes to black people and black men especially. And I mean, all I can do is thank my creator for making me a black man, because I know I don't want to be no woman. I would not want to. I wouldn't trade the longer lifespan to be in their situation, knowing that all they have to do is just like stand by their man and ride the storm with us. But nah, they don't want to. They don't want to. They don't want to be. They want to be black on their terms and not on the terms that the creator gave them. And so, I mean, this is just the case. I mean, I wish I'd say it was less than 50%, but old women and adult black women over 18. I mean, how black are they? It's black for convenience. It's black as a reaction. The reactionary blacks. You know what I'm saying? The blackness in blackness in black women is so reactionary. They're not Coretta Scott Kings. They're not Betty Shabazz. They're not Garvey's wife. Amy Jean.
Ashwan Amy Garvey.
Thank you. They're not these ladies. I mean, and those are powerful. I mean, these women did strong things, and they were wives to strong families. What happened? And it's not just welfare. What happened? I mean, at some point, the psyche of black women and strong black women who can conceive themselves as I'm a strong black woman in America, and it's just like, they don't want to bond and attach to strong black men. What is up? I mean, look, that's a question between the black woman and their maker. I know I don't have any input in that conversation.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your participation. In the future, man, everybody, man, if I shoot that link out, man, don't be shy to jump in here, man. I definitely want the feedback. I appreciate you, Black Sands. Okay, yeah, I can't unmute Black Sands. I can't hear you. So I'm gonna take you down, Black Sands. I appreciate your participation. I was trying to unmute you, but you muted yourself, so I can't unmute you.
Oh, that's no problem. I was pulling back.
I got you. Thanks a lot, man. So, Chaos. Final word.
Yeah. Well, this is a celebration nonetheless. We supposed to celebrate the good days. Monetize just like that after 1K. That's an accomplishment in a very short time, bro. And I'm not sure when you start doing your channel, but it's good to see that you. Right?
It's been some years, but I got you.
Well, think about it. I mean, that means you didn't invest too much time till now, and the time is needed now. If you think about it, because let's be honest. Keep 100. I entertained Facebook for some time now, right? And I don't see no usefulness now because it became, what's it called, liberal, or whatever they want to call these terms nowadays. So now we take what we know onto a much more bigger platform, and it works wonders for everybody else. Not everybody's going to have a success like you have right now if you put the time in it. I tell people many times, you bring something different to the market and you bring your own intellect, you will have something. People are going to follow. People are going to support, because like minds move a long way. So, besides everything else that's been discussed tonight, I'll be honest with you. These women are gonna keep doing what they're gonna do, regardless. The black man has to do what he has to do at the end of the day. You know, if they want leaders, they will sit there, follow. And it seemed like they want to be followed by themselves. They want to be by themselves. The hell, they want to congregate with other women, like in apartments, and eat each other out. So, like I said, let them be happy and go ahead, baby. Go indulge in debauchery. You know what I'm saying, go indulge in all things of perversions, and be good, baby. Likewise, this is Cass right here. So thank you. And like always, let it chaos reign.
All right, no doubt. Chaos has his own channel on YouTube. Y'all can check him out. He's usually on there with a few other guys. I seen your Mr. Let Go episode, and you got your guy Amiri, who at some point me and that man gonna have to lock horns, baby.
I mean, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. It's long overdue, man. Y'all be at it on Facebook. I sit back and just raise my hand and see what happens. And say, I just want to see it happen, just to have the nice little sparring. I think it's gonna happen on my show. Trust me, because remember, if y'all catch my last live stream, which is up right now, I talk about this biracial phenomenon, and I advise everybody to check it out. It's pretty good. A couple brothers came on the panel for that one. So like I said, we're not gonna hold you long. Thank you.
All right, my man. Thanks for jumping in here. All right. Let me read this comment. They have bought into feminism and white supremacy. Yeah, that's something that we are already familiar with. Covenant of Witches. So, Mega.
Yo.
Let me get your final word, bro.
Congrats on the subscribers. You know what I mean? You got the 1K banded up, 1K for 1K on Goofy Feminism. Wow.
You got to come closer to the mic, fam. We got to hear you.
Yeah, congrats on the subscribers. You know what I mean? You got your band up on there. Good shit. 1K for 1K on Feminism. Wow. And this is for under 30 homies. Y'all doing a good job, not collectively simping or being treated like utilities. Keep up the great work. Don't fold, and make sure to get the word out to people who need to hear it, or stop hanging with goofies who don't listen, because half the shooters out here are hyenas. They have feminine emotions. You want to keep yourself alive, so your life may depend on it. Get this information out. And female validation is only important at the cash register, and even then it's not. You don't need that at all. You good.
My man always got some fly shit to say. All right. So this is how I'm gonna close this out, man. Okay. All right. Let me let them see my Flatbush, Brooklyn. But check this out, man. Before I started this channel, because I had another channel, but before I started this channel, and I had to come up with a name that represented what I'm about, and I came up with Keep It 100. The reason why I came up with Keep It 100 is because, as people who know me extremely well understand, that my vice is honesty. That is my vice. I will tell motherfuckers the truth, even if it hurts. And that's what I'm here to do. My message won't change because I'm getting my dick sucked or my back rubbed or some shit like that. And I think that that's what a lot of what the manosphere, not everyone, not the guys that I talk to, but we know who the names are. And a lot of them have been in this space for a long time. And they have kind of switched their message because their situation has changed. Their relationship status has changed. Or their ideology has changed. Like Dr. Neil said when we first got on, he said he understands that some people evolve. But you can't be in conflict with the message and still call yourself part of this room, this tribe, this group, whatever you want to call it, this ideology. The ideology does not change because you do. The ideology and the info and the points of view do not change because you got a girlfriend or you got a wife or you found love or you found God. This shit remains the same. Everything remains raw. You feel me? Right. So ain't shit changed, motherfuckers. From the very beginning, from the Minister Japs to the thugticians, you know, the message is still the same. Consistency is key. You switch up, nobody believes you. All right? We talk about women a lot on this channel, but we got to hold men feet to the fire also when it comes to carrying a consistent message and lying to the people. You can't be out here lying to the people. Shout out to the angry man. Shout out to Minister Jap. I was watching something that they were doing the other day, man, where they pretty much went right down the lines of what I'm talking about. I've been rocking with this space from the beginning. Early YouTube days, man. And this shit has never been about meeting in the middle, common ground, none of that shit. That's not what manhood is about. That's not what manosphere is about. And the reason why motherfuckers keep losing because we keep taking this liberal approach to dealing with enemies, straight enemies. There's no meat in the middle. There's no, no, there's none of that shit. It's either going to work the way we desire, because at the end of the day, the rise and fall of the shit will be blamed on us. So either we're going to drive the vehicle or we won't get in it. Period. Now, if you want to get your own vehicle and you want to run that shit into a brick wall, that's your fucking business, and you won't blame it on us. We will take our ball and go home. That's how this works. I'm not here to encourage, the government or any other body to do anything. I'm here to SYSBM, and hopefully everybody here that's listening to this and listening to us talk is about saving themselves. I did 2 videos on creating value. They are the least watched videos on my channel. Right? I would hope that I'm talking to people who are interested in saving self. And that's more than just about who you put your dick into. This is about saving self. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I get nothing. And Bay will tell you, I've been doing this shit on Facebook for 8 years. The super chats are cool, but I've been doing this shit for 8 years on the internet, saying this message for free. So understand, I'm not here to rabble-rouse you, to game you, or get clout, or any of that shit. This is actually a message that does more harm than hurt, but I'm here to keep it 100. I'm not here to go mainstream or none of that shit. I'll talk to the people that fuck with this message, and if y'all fuck with me, I fucks with y'all. All right? I ain't here to, convince you to save shit, but you. Like gentleman said earlier, these women are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to do it during your lifetime. They're going to do it after you're gone. All you are obligated to do it, all you are responsible for is your ass. Fuck with what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. If a black woman makes you happy, I'm with it. You understand what I'm saying? If other things make you happy, I am not here to police you. I am not here to judge you. I am not here to tell you that someone is not your enemy while they do enemy shit to you and talk about you like an enemy to the rest of the world so that the rest of the world can do fucked up shit to you and think it's okay. I walk it like I talk it, fellas. My man Bay has been rocking with me a long time. He knows that when we're not broadcasting, this is how I roll. And people who know me in real life, you know, see me every day, know that this is how I roll. Hit me up on that community tab. Add me on Facebook, whatever. I'll get as much information as I can get you. Follow Bit of Truth Show. Follow Dr. Ron O'Neill. Follow T. Hassan Johnson. Follow BGS Ed Moore. We ain't here to tell you to simp, coon, kowtow, bow down. None of that shit. There's more pussies than dicks out here. Believe it. That's why the politics way ain't gonna work. But there's more pussy than dick out here. You gonna get you something. If not in this nation, in the next. That's what planes are for, baby. Save up that bread and go to where somebody will fix that plate and not argue with you. They will go in the corner and read a fucking book. I've seen it. It's real. With that said, and there's probably more shit that I should have said, but I'm going to end it off here. Before I get caught up in a ramble, 1,000 into the moon. Keep it 100. Thank you, Mega. Thank you, Bay. I'm going to shout out some people in this comment section. Everybody that hit the super chat, man. These are my first super chats. Ickles raised me. Peace out, Bay. Black Tie, GC, Hybrid. You know, my man Hassani, all of my motherfucking moderators in here. Pax Negro, I see you. K Williams, Broken Blade, you know, what's this? Mr. Tony P, Rorschach, and Mad Black Masculinist, BGS Sidmore, Brotherly Love 215. You the first super chat, so I ain't gonna forget that. Shane, damn, Shane ain't even get to jump in this motherfucker, but hey, man, I appreciate all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? You got options, brothers. You got options. Believe it. The more you raise your value, the more options you'll have. I bullshit you not. Shout out to Dr. Thunder, Adrian Hicks, Michael Gomez, BM Rock, Tyrese Bowie. I don't know how to pronounce that. Ash L, Mr. Rucker, Tyru. All right. Rodimus, my man Rob, I see you. Rodimus Prime, King, Micah the Comedian, Ismail Thomas. And for everybody that's going to watch this shit on the playback, 318 Showtime, Snuggle 668. Oh, man. Yeah, man. Like I said, this channel's been around for a few years, man. In this short time that I've been rocking with the PhDs, Green Gorilla, and the rest of them, they done got me over 1,000. Fuck with me, man. I'll lead you into the future. Give you info that some of these so-called educated motherfuckers will not give you. When I say educated, I do not mean the PhDs. I'm talking about these fake-ass lawyers and other gentlemen who dress well while lying to you and leaving shit out. Okay? 100, baby. I'm out of here. Holla back. See you on Facebook and in the community tab.